we were entering the city of Urbana, and it was really dangerous and stuff. You know, buildings falling down, the sinkholes, thingies in the water, strange stuff. But anyway, we managed to find a way across, around, whatever. We walk through the city. We find weird lines, weird wires through the city. We find out there's zip lines. We manage to traverse more water. We get further, and we travel along. Eventually, we get to this statue in the water, and we go underwater, and we go on a museum tour with all these different statues underwater, and that's great. Then we come back out of the water, and then we fight a hydra that came out of nowhere. And then we kill that hydra in the water. And then we move on along into the city. We walk past some flayed corpses hung up, very, very creepy. Probably not a warning from some sort of evil entity or villain. And we go through the city. We pass like shops and brothels and whatever. We go inside a museum, look at some exhibits there. It's cool. It's groovy. It's at times hard to understand because we don't have the necessary cultural context. But then suddenly it's all interrupted by the arrival of danger. And that's where we ended.
Indeed, that is where you ended. You are standing here on the floor above ground floor. I think is that second floor for most of us. Maybe first floor for a couple of us. I'm not sure. But at any rate, you are, let's call it the second floor of this ancient ruin, kind of buckling under its own weight here in this, what must have been the central downtown part of Urbana. These streets of ruined splendor are now shaking, crumbling, crashing with the sounds of hundreds of beasts crawling up out of the ground, out of the sides of these stony facades. You see these segmented, kind of insectoid humanoids, armor bolted onto them, these hulks. You see a few of these brutalos with these large iron collars around their necks. You see these longer, almost termite like insects the size of small cows. You see these little segmented creatures skittering up behind them as they burrow out of the ground, all of them marching somewhere to the west, entering this parade down these streets.
Holy shit.
And does it look like they've noticed us?
It doesn't seem like it. They all seem pretty single minded in this moment.
What in Saradomin's name?
I think probably we should try to wait this one out a bit.
No kidding!
Yeah,
Don't peek your head
watch
out. Don't even...
Is there anything visible that is guiding them all that way?
You can make a perception check if you wish.
Sure.
Yeah, you look through the haze, through this fog that is settled over the city here at sunset. You don't see anything visible, but then you do hear this low roll of thunder somewhere in the distance. You can't see anything that tells you a sign of where they're going, but you feel like you could pick out that they seem to all be heading down this main boulevard. And then somewhere several blocks down, you could barely tell, but they seem to be all making a turn right at about the same intersection.
Where the hell do you think they're even going?
They're organized, that's for sure.
You think they're sleeping the
Wonder
whole time?
if it isn't something that's a remnant of this city's past too. Though I can't imagine what purpose that would be for.
Oh, I assume the stampedes of monsters weren't a part of the city at its prime.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it does seem like a rather diverse city. Lots of monstrous races. Like there was an insect demon person as one of the statues. This sort of reminds me of that.
Can I actually look at,
Sucelis is the name that I think it gave that.
can I look at the insect-like creatures and see if like any of them kind of look similar to Sicelis?
Yeah,
'Cause we saw his statue.
you're looking down on them from up here. You cannot really see a resemblance in any of them. They don't have those same compound eyes. They don't really have that same spikiness. I mean, they're definitely all various forms of plated insectoid, but not the same way that Sucelis was. At this moment, there is suddenly a jolt. You all find yourselves kind of having to brace yourselves as you hear more rumbling and crashing and breaking of masonry somewhere down beneath you. You feel the building actually shift slightly as you see a couple more of these brutalos emerge from the facade of the ground floor that you were just on.
Oh shit!
Well, I'm glad we got up here.
Are you? This might not be stable.
There's another shift, and you feel the building starting to shake more around you. You can hear this sickening, loud, groaning creak from somewhere deep within the bowels of this building you're in. What are you guys doing?
Should we move? Where would we move to?
Is there like a back to this building that's not like in view of the road? Like on the back side of it?
You can do a quick investigation, but it seems like this building, it's pretty large and there's not a lot going on each of the floors, or at least are the two floors you've been on.
Yeah. I'm hoping there's a window. Let me do
I
investigation.
think maybe
Yeah. Dawn, you flit over towards sort of the rear. You can see another pale light coming down through the darkness of this otherwise bare floor, or uneven ground. And you do see that it seems to enter onto what looks like some kind of an alleyway about 20 feet below you.
Hey, we gotta get out of here. Look, we can hide over there in the alleyway.
Good catch, Dawn.
Yo,
I would like
I say-
everyone, as you are looking at this alleyway trying to figure out what to do, to make a dexterity saving throw as you see the far wall of this floor starting to buckle and give in.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Hello? What's up with the nat 20s?
Somehow I don't think that alarm was a coincidence.
Oh, I get it. Take it too fucking long, boys.
Oh, that's right. Plus 2 to saves.
Plus 2.
oh yeah, I have a wonderful 9.
So that's 23, 9, 16. And then, yeah, for Alcana and... oh, wait, that dexterity save was done. Oh, that I'm sorry, I mistook the dexterity save with that earlier nat 20 investigation.
Yeah, there's 2 nat 20s.
Yeah, that's really something. Okay, so those of you who got nat 20s, Notrix and Dawn, you both see this happening, and as you feel the floor creaking below you, buckling, you kind of wait till it's almost down to crash onto the ground, and you just throw yourselves clear of this, kind of rolling to a stop further down the alley as you see the rest of the building, kind of bits of it crash masonry into the one across the alleyway, sending this chunks, almost like shrapnel, through the wall, and you see this building just crumbling, this cloud of dust all around you. As it clears, you can see Nia pulling herself out, looking like she's been a bit injured. Nia, you take 11 points of bludgeoning damage from this. But then as the smoke starts to clear, you can see Logi and Alcana, who've both taken 22 points of bludgeoning damage, looking like they've been pinned under a couple of these pieces of masonry.
Guys! Don goes over. Or,
Oh
he
shit, I
looks
never
at...
rolled for Fox.
Oh yeah, Fox too. Hell yeah.
Fox also takes a little bit of damage, but he's also clear. He's dusting himself off.
I look at Notrix and say, hey, come help me! And I guess we'll go to Logi first, because he rolled lower. And
Yeah, I
just,
guess,
let's...
I think we are the 2 weakest party members, but we can give this a go.
Well, yeah. I also kind of look at Fox and say, hey, come over here. Help us out.
Of course. I may be able to... All right, everyone, I want each of you to get on one side of this piece. And Loki, how are you doing?
Better than I thought I would.
All right. On the count of 3, 1, 2, and I'll go ahead and have Fox roll with advantage because you're all helping him.
Don's helping too.
You try to lift it up, but it is still not quite budging. Logi and Alcana, you both take an additional 5 damage as you continue to be crushed by all of this masonry above you.
Use that guiding thing.
All right. Actually, I got something better. And I'm going to use... Fuck that. I'm going to use Intangibility on Fox. And give him
all
strength.
right. That gives him advantage?
I think so. Yes.
Well, already has advantage with all of you guys helping him.
Oh, I'm a dumbass. Okay, can I take that back?
Yeah, I'll let you take it back.
Do I need to spend a foresight or?
I won't make you spend a foresight.
Thank you. Resistance. But no, not a saving throw. A guidance. There we go.
Guidance. All right, there we are.
Julia's out of
Okay.
it.
All right, everyone, one more time. 1, 2, 3. And this time, the piece of masonry just rolls off of Logi. And Logi, you feel yourself able to breathe fully again. Meanwhile, Alcana, you take another 4 points of damage.
Quick, Alcana now.
All right, everyone. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, and it's only a D4 guidance. Yeah, that's not going to help. That's not going to be enough. And you're trying to push it. Alcana, you feel them starting to roll this piece of masonry above you, but it's only digging into you more. You can feel the air being pushed out of you. You take another 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Help.
Come on, Alcana, come on.
Dawn, guide me again.
All right, here. He's going to cast it.
Unless any of you have another idea.
I don't
I
have
do
anything.
have a last-ditch way of getting out of here, but I'd rather not use it.
All right. 1, 2, 3. And this time, you manage to push, roll this piece of masonry off of Alcana.
Oh, finally. Come on, quick. Dive into... Go to the alleyway. Quick.
Yes. Quickly, onto your feet, Alcana. As Fox
Coming.
gives you his hand to raise you onto your feet, he casts 2nd level Cure Wounds on you.
Thank you.
All right, Dawn, lead the way.
Over here. And Don, like as fast as he could. Like obviously he's doubling back, like making sure they're following him. But yeah, he leads them to the alleyway that he saw. That was pretty clear.
Yeah, you duck deeper into this alleyway, and as you kind of round the corner, you can see at the far end of it these creatures continuing to move past. It seems like, despite that crash, none of them seem to have even taken notice of them, none of them coming down and investigating. Looking down the alleyway itself, you can see that the much less adorned faces of these buildings are facing in, but there are also seem to be several discarded statues here. You see one of what looks to be a human in armor, but it's very heavily not corroded, but it's, well, yeah, corroded. It's seen a lot of weathering over the ages. You see one of this demonic figure with 4 legs, but again, very heavily corroded. You even see one that looks quite similar to these hulks, kind of life size, but with this helmet that seems to have these ears swept back behind it.
Holy shit! All right, I think we're safe for now. But what the hell do we do now?
Well, they didn't seem to take any notice whatsoever. Perhaps, perhaps they're too entranced by whatever it is they're doing.
I mean,
Which means we should
if
probably
the
go the opposite direction.
Maybe.
Well,
What were we gonna say,
does
Loki?
anyone have any? Oh, actually, go on, go ahead.
Did anyone have any what?
Well, if they're insects, maybe they're just drones for something. Maybe they don't really, think properly. That's how insects work, right?
Actually, yeah. Maybe they
I
got a
don't
clone.
know enough about insects to dispute that.
Does anyone
I
have any
suppose.
illusion magic? Well, I just wanted to test if they react to a human figure, perhaps. Because if they're completely absorbed in their task, perhaps it's safe to just follow them.
I could create a minor illusion, not anything big, but an illusory voice, a very small stationary object.
Can you make like a gnome standing in the street? A small object?
Need to get closer to the mouth of the alley, but I could do that.
Here, I'll go with you. And can I actually turn him invisible?
If you want to.
Yeah, just a big double short. I don't want him to get caught.
Though, actually, I think if he casts a spell while invisible, I think that'll make his invisibility drop.
Oh, you're right. How about? Oh yeah, true. Well, can he cast a spell and then I turn him invisible?
Yeah, if he gets all the way up there. But he looks at you and he says, I'm not terrible at being stealthy.
All right, just be really careful. All right, man.
Of course, of course. So he kind of pushes himself up against the wall, very carefully, edges closer towards the edge of the alley. None of them seem to take notice. You see him sort of, his mouth moving, though you don't hear any sound, give a motion with his hands, and then you see this gnome, a stereotypical gnome, a white beard, tall pointy hat, just standing motionless in the middle of the street. As one of these hulks lumbers past, it takes out its claw and does one low swipe right through the illusory gnome, but it doesn't stop. It doesn't investigate when the claw goes through. It just keeps walking.
Huh.
And you see the same thing like a few seconds later, one of these brutalos, as it's ambling along on its legs, its squat muscular form, it kind of gives a snap towards this gnome, but almost just because it's there in its way, it does not slow at all. It does not stop. Continue on.
So not entirely passive, but very distracted.
Hmm.
Can I whisper over to Fox and say, "Hey, try putting it on the side of the street, like out of their way."
He kind of gives a nod to you. The gnome disappears and reappears, this time looking a little bit younger. No beard, having the face of youth, but in that same green outfit, a conical hat. And this time, it attracts even less attention. Though you do see, you hear this grinding, and you see one of these long, almost termite like things start ambling down closer to the edge of the street. And that one, it turns its head as it sees this gnome child, and it spits this green liquid, viscous, you don't know what it is, towards its direction through the gnome child, but like the other ones, just keeps walking.
That one's deadly at a distance. Noted.
Yeah, these things see us, they will attack us, but looks like they won't stop moving towards what, moving towards.
Yeah, the situation could be much worse than that.
Yeah. Fox gets away from the edge of the alley and closer towards the rest of you.
Does it look like the procession is ending anytime soon?
You can still hear, though maybe not quite as much as it was 5 minutes ago, more of these rumblings, can feel the thrumming through the streets, can occasionally hear the crackling of masonry being broken. Seems like it's still in full force.
Can John?
Is the direction that they're heading in like where we came from, or a different direction?
No, it's not the direction you came from. If anything, it's like the direction you would have gone if you just kept going down that main boulevard.
How can Don think back to while we're walking around before, how torn up did the ground look? Did it look like it was just very soily and loose, or did it look pretty solid, as if it wasn't really touched for years?
I mean, this is a pretty huge place, and a lot of the ground looked pretty solid, but there are very regularly, bits of masonry and bits of broken out potholes and crumbled buildings all around that, could conceal a lot of stuff. But definitely most of the groundwork is more like various forms of stonework and concrete, or broken stonework and concrete, and not so much earthen.
All right. And when these things came out of the ground, did they really tear up the roads, or not really?
A few of them seem to really tear up the roads. A lot of them seem to just push through some of these buildings that were already in ruin.
Okay. Wondering if this is a common occurrence. What could be causing those rumblings, though?
I mean, it's pretty obvious just looking at this mess.
The queen?
Actually, I don't know what I was thinking. Hold on. I need to get my thoughts together.
Well, I assume that these things, they dig through the earth, they come out, they march through whatever's in their way.
Why multiple species of animals working together, and just with such a purpose?
Well, even if they are mindless, these ones that walk on two legs, they have armor. The large ones, they have collars. Someone makes these. Someone puts these on them.
How old does the armor and the collars look?
It's hard to say how old. They look pretty rough, and you're not sure if that's because of being crudely made or if that's because of having weathered over a long period of time.
And does this armor look really similar to the insects that we fought in the first borehole while we were traveling?
It does, yes.
You know, I think Folk's got a point. Like, these things, maybe they have a leader, and that leader is arming them, but what would someone be doing all the way up here alone?
Alcana just shrugs. I think that's what we're here to try and find out, but obviously not right now.
Obviously not right now.
Well, if
I
we
think we should. I think we should take a short rest to get our bearings and wait for this this march to ease up.
It's not a bad idea.
Yes, just stay quiet, out of the way, and unnoticed. And as he says this, Logi, you hear this screech behind you as suddenly, bam, there is a claw trying to grab into you. I'm not sure. Are you wearing your armor or no?
I didn't think so, but can I say yes anyway?
I'd say you have to spend a foresight to be wearing your armor right now.
Yeah, sure. Loki had the foresight to take on his armor after the giant bugs appeared.
Yeah, one claw towards you, another claw towards you, and then it tries to bite. And you see that it is this, what you thought was a statue of one of these Hulks, dark gray, stony, and with this odd helmet with these long ears behind it. The first two attacks don't manage to hit you, but last one, uh, the last one does. And as it bites into you, finds a tender a tender chink between the plates of your armor. I need you to make a charisma save.
A charisma save?
Yes.
Oh wow, I don't know what that portends.
And you manage to pull away from it, and you can see that there is this odd glint in its eyes, beady through its helmet, seeming to almost glimmer with these kaleidoscopic colors. Why don't I go ahead and put these here on the map?
Sure. Oh no. Fuck me, dude. Right there.
And let me go ahead and draw some walls for this alley.
I was gonna say, how big is this alleyway? Fuck. He's already low. Oh my god.
Yeah, we're not exactly in the greatest shape right now.
And like, we didn't get any of our spell
Yeah.
stuff back yet, right? Like, we just started falling asleep the moment this parade started.
Yeah, like that museum tour wasn't a short rest, was it?
The museum tour?
Yeah, you know
Hell,
the guy.
I'll count it as a short rest. Why not? It was practically long enough for that in real time.
Oh, I love you. Hell yeah.
So I'm going to say this is some kind of a building here in the center, and this is the alleyway that you are in right now.
Okay. Oh, where's Fox?
Yeah, Fox is over here. So
Oh, I see.
I don't know. Should we roll initiative for this, Mama Jamma?
Yeah, probably. I say so.
I'm guessing we're doing it not in teams then?
Yeah.
so if we got a short rest, that means we heal a bit, don't we?
Sure, yeah.
Right now, wait. The museum tour was a short rest, which was before the Hydra. So
No, the other tour. Like we looked at all those paintings, remember? Or like the reliefs? Yeah.
that one.
Taking art history class actually helped me learn some vocabulary for this campaign.
So, Dawn, what are you doing? You just saw Logi get attacked by this thing.
Oh God. Okay. He's about to take out his Tommy wand, but then he looks to the behind him like, oh, I don't wanna use this loud ass gun and gather attention. So he's gonna fly up a little bit. 5, 10, 15, 25. Right, and like land
And
right
as
there.
you fly up there, why don't you go ahead and make a charisma saving throw for me?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. What happens?
As you look towards it, these kaleidoscopic eyes burning behind this stony mask, you feel yourself just kind of start to go slack. Roll a d8 for me, Don.
Uh-huh.
And you just stare at it, mouth agape, doing nothing. Alkana, what are you doing? Actually, as you look up towards this thing, why don't you go ahead and give me a charisma saving throw?
Yes.
And you see its same kaleidoscopic eyes, and for a minute you feel this haze through your head, but you shake it off. What are you doing, Alkana?
Well, let's not get too complicated up in here. Ah! Got a stick!
Yeah, you pull out truth and you try to whack at it, but you just hear this glassy ping as it bounces off of these heavy plates armored to its stony body. Is that your turn, Alkana? Or did you want to roll on the botch table?
Why not? Foresight.
As your sword pings off of it, you feel this vibration just wave through your hand. Yourself kind of get shaken up by this, and you feel like you need a turn just to get the feeling back into your arm. With that, it is the Hulk's turn. Sees what you've just tried to do, Alkana, and this time you seem to have gained its attention. One claw comes down towards you. One towards Logi, just for good measure. Both of them, you guys manage to evade, and then it rears back, opens its gross-looking four-part mandibles, and tries to lunge at you, Alkana. And this time it manages to find a space between your armor and get right there into the top of your shoulder. I'd like you to make a charisma saving throw for me, Alkana.
Damn it.
Something. You can tell that there's something else it's trying to do, but you manage to shake it off and pull yourself out of its grasp. Logi, what are you doing?
Okay, so the march, is that up this way or down this way?
I'd say that the march is actually happening like this alley. Let's say that it continues a little bit further south, and then that's where the march is going on. So right now you're pretty well out of view of the march.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
So
I
suggesting
have
Fox. Sorry, go on.
I have a crazy idea, but it's probably not a good one. So instead, I am just going to disengage and run. There.
All right, yeah, you just disengage and put as much distance between yourself and this thing as you can. All right, with that, Notrix, what are you doing?
So I guess I'm going to go up behind Arcana, and she's going to raise his head. I'm going to throw a light into it.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
damn, all right.
Oh, where's Fox on the initiative?
Oh, is he not on the initiative?
No, he isn't.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry.
Fox. It's okay.
For fuck's sake.
Yuck, yuck, yuck. All right, let's see. He would go right after Nia, it looks like. Okay, so yeah, let me go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
It does succeed.
And it manages to resist it, but still, as you raise your hand, you see this pulse of black energy go through it. It seems like some of that gray on it is shaken off, which you now see is mostly a lot of dust, as it takes some damage, though not as much as you'd hope.
And I'll end my turn just doing this slightly.
All right. Nia, what are you doing?
You know, I'm with Zori. I don't think we should complicate things here much, really. So she's just gonna come up right next to Alcana and, oh, you know the drill.
Ooh, dang. Yeah,
Oof.
so these two quick swipes towards it, and you manage to find the chinks in the armor, but jab it through. But even still, it doesn't seem to be doing quite as much damage to it as you would hope. So that's a total of, what is that, 11, 22, 25, 35, 38.
And then I'm going to have her move away back here by Logie, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, you just kind of duck underneath as it tries to swipe a claw above you and further down the alley, positioning yourself by Logie. Now it is a Fox turn. Oh shoot, I should have had Logie and Notrix and Nia roll saving throws, but I will just say that it happened to have its eyes closed in those times instead of making you. But Fox is going to roll a charisma saving throw. And as he looks down the alley towards all of this, his mouth goes slack, and he looks in that direction without doing anything. That is the end of his turn. Dawn, roll a charisma saving throw.
Damn it, bro.
Roll a d8. And as you look at this thing, feeling just completely listless, you suddenly get this urge to move. Your wings flutter, and I'll say that 1 is north, 2 is east, etc. So you feel yourself just moving as far as you can west, but you feel yourself butt up very quickly against this wall. You practically smack into it before your wings stop fluttering.
Yes, okay.
That is the end of your turn. Alcana, make a charisma saving throw.
+2.
+2.
Oh yeah, +2. You feel like there is a world where you may have been taken by this thing's odd appearance, but you managed to shake that off, and you're fully in control of yourself. What do you do?
I would say taking the top priority is kicking this thing's ass. But I think first she's going to give a little bit of help to a friend. to form a sanctuary for our dear friend. Should I do Loki or Don?
How
Okay.
about the one who we can't heal?
Oh, You're right. Sanctuary on Notrix, and then let's not complicate this thing.
Yeah, the first strike, you think you were going to hit him, but you managed to just clang off the armor, though the second one does manage to find a chink through. Dig it into it, you see some of this green gore oozing up around the edge of your blade as you pull it cleanly out and hear this agonized oh from deep within this creature. With that, it is the Hulk's turn. You were the only one here. This incredible Hulk's turn. Only one here that it is to menace it. It is going to direct all of its attacks towards you. It raises up these two long, almost scimitar-like claws, brings them down on you. 1, 2, and then tries to do a bite at you. The bite, you manage to raise your shield, but the other two manage to dig into you. And as it pulls out, I need you to make a charisma saving throw. You feel something could have happened here, something bad, but you managed to shake it off. Though, well, something bad did still happen as you took a lot of damage right there. But with that, Logi,
How bad does this thing look?
in terms of its health, it looks like it's
Yeah.
still pretty strong.
Okay, then I'm going to attempt to cast.
Modify memory.
Memories, and it's
Wow.
disadvantage if I'm in combat with it. Oh,
All right.
Well, I mean, the creature has advantage if I'm in combat with it.
All right. I mean, it's in combat with the group. And you did try to. Yeah, I'd say that you're in combat with it. So, okay. This makes a. What is the saving throw again? It is a wisdom saving throw with advantage.
Yay!
That fails.
So it fails. So, how do you modify its memory?
Well, I think it. I mean, it becomes charmed for a minute. So I imagine it sort of goes like, "Ooh." Logi tells the others, "Okay, I am going to convince it we were never here, but we have to run. It will come back to you in a minute." And then he walks up to us and he says, "You heard something in the alley. You went to investigate, but it was just some rubble. Nothing else. Okay, let's go."
You see it turns and actually starts lumbering shakily away. It kind of takes a second to shake Don and Fox out of their reverie, but you do after about 6 seconds.
What? What happened? Where are we?
Run!
Where? Ah, okay.
Where?
Can we look behind, like towards this way? Like the parade is going on over here, right?
Yeah, how I imagine it is that like kind of like you got this alleyway that's sort of almost a four-shaped alley, and then somewhere further south, right over here, is where you can see the parade going on.
But this guy, is he moving like? Is he like banging a right over at this building, or is he
He just seems to be looking kind of listlessly around the alley, trying to figure out what's happening,
Oh,
looking
shit.
for something, but unable to find it.
But if we run this way, we're gonna be running into the the parade, right?
I mean, you can roll a survival check if you want to try to figure out a way to get around this alley without running into the parade.
Thank you. Yes. Bro. Ugh.
Yeah, Don, you look around, you're not sure where you can go that this thing won't catch up with you again.
Where can we go? Uh, 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 uh. Don's
Can
like,
we run into the rubble of the building? Is it collapsed?
is there any openings?
There are places where you could probably crawl into the building itself, yeah.
Okay, let's try that.
Yeah, I think I'll do a pass without trace.
All right, you cast a pass without trace. I'm gonna get rid of this map because this was only meant for the battle, and you're out of that battle now, and it's not gonna help you with this conceptual part of the.
Okie dokie.
Anyways, yeah, Notrix, you cast a pass without trace as you all kind of scramble over each other into the rubble of this building. This one you can see is far worse preserved than the Gallery of Modern Masters that you were in just a little bit ago. Completely dark in here. Maybe there's a way to get higher up in this building. It is one of the ones that was more or less freestanding, but you're going to have to look around for it.
Oh, and as they're kind of running and ducking away, since I'm kind of skewing a bit rough, she's gonna do that.
All right. Yeah, actually, as you're all kind of dashing through here, Fox looks around and he says, who is low? Who feels like they need a little bit of healing?
Yep. Elkanah would probably raise her hand a bit.
All right, he's gonna pump another second level cure wounds into you.
Nice.
Here, let me help out too. And she's gonna land on Logi and cast level 3 cure wounds. Very nice. Hell yeah. So Logi just got 18 healing. And then, yeah.
All right, what are we going to do? Just stay here in this rubble?
Unless anyone else has any better ideas.
Well, if we wait here until the immediate pressure's gone, until that guy out there has vacated the alleyway, then we'll be able to, wait.
That's fair.
So I guess, yeah, we're assuming that once the modified memory takes effect, you'll think, oh, okay, we need to investigate the alleyway. There's nothing in here, and he'll leave. That's what we're hoping for.
All right. So I guess we're gonna wait it out. We're gonna see if he leaves the alleyway, basically.
So you all crouch down in here, this pass without trace, helping to conceal your presence. After about a minute, you hear a sound from the alley. You hear the sound of grinding, of bits of masonry being flung up, bouncing against the sides of these buildings, and then it fades. And it seems like it's silent.
Nice work, Loki. Guess that's a new trick of yours, huh?
Yes. I
Jesus.
suppose it came to me in a dream.
A lot of strange things come to you in dreams.
As you sit here, waiting tight about maybe 10 more minutes, Now you can hear that thrumming through the ground has grown lesser. You're not hearing those same crashes throughout the city. And when you go up towards the edge of the building, you can still faintly hear a skittering. But it seems, at least from the sound of it, that most of this parade has probably passed you by now.
Damn. If all those insect things are like that one, then we'd be screwed if we got caught by the parade of them.
Oh, yes.
And maybe
Ah,
basically into a wall.
I wonder what controls them.
I don't think we're in a position to find that out right now.
Yes, we need to. Well, our plan was to rest. I think that's a good idea. We've been a Hydra now. This we're a bit beat up.
What kind of nods?
Now I feel like all those insects are, towards one side of the city. We might be able to find a safe place to go back to, but do you think they're all gonna walk back?
Don't think we really have a way of knowing that right now. We'll just have to pray they don't get interested in coming back this way.
Ugh.
We could always follow their parade. They're not looking behind themselves.
Maybe. I mean, I do want to find out what's like controlling them, but I mean, we're all a little, hurt for the Hydra. Just that thing attacking us, the rubble. I feel like we gotta rest before we start investigating what's controlling these things. You know?
Yes, consider this. Is worth finding that out worth any of us potentially dying? That's what I thought.
All right, let's find a place. Don's gonna. Well, he's gonna look around. Is there like a window or like a open area? that he
Yeah,
can see?
yeah. There are a couple of shoddy windows in here. Most of them kind of mostly covered with bits of rubble and broken, what almost looks like rebar, but you can peer through.
Can I roll like an investigation or something just to check around, like just look outside of them, see if there's like any buildings that actually look structurally okay on the outside?
Um, sure, yeah. Roll on. I think this is more your ability to understand it, so I'll call it an investigation check more than a perception check.
Okay. Cool.
You look around, you find one of these building windows that opens up onto the street. Indeed, it seems to have cleared out of all of these insectoid creatures. And there are several buildings that are at least standing. I mean, you're kind of in one of them right now. Um, but more specifically, though, what are you looking for?
Maybe more of a building out of the way of the street. Like I kind of don't want a building that's like right next to the street, just because if this parade occurs again, like we don't want these things crashing into the house that we're in. And
So you want to like wind your way away from the main boulevard.
yeah, I'd say so.
I'm not sure if you can do that just standing at a window here at ground level right on the boulevard. I think
In
you're
that case,
probably going to have to go out into the street again.
could Don look at everyone and just say, "Hey, I'm gonna try flying up and see if I could find a better place for us to hide."
Like, I suppose that's fair. Be careful.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna. Yeah, like I'm gonna. Is it okay if he stays like maybe at least like 40 or 30 feet above above the ground, and just like fly around, just like try to like stay above the rooftops and see if he can see anything?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Would that be perception or investigation?
So you're staying 40 feet above the ground and just looking above the rooftops?
Yeah.
I'd say for this, if you're going to be that high up, all you can really tell is whether a building is intact or not. So I'll call it a perception check.
Okay. Damn it.
Yeah, you float around. Even 40 feet up, there are many of these buildings that are uh, stretched far taller than you, or taller than the space you're flying through. Float around, and you can see like how far away are you trying to get from the main boulevard?
At least like 4 or 5 houses away.
Like a full block away, or more like 4 or 5 blocks?
Let's do a block. Like
Like
one
a
block.
full, like a city block away.
Ah, shit. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. I like that.
Yeah, you manage to fly up, and you can definitely see a few buildings that are still freestanding, a good city block away from this main boulevard. It's a few of them that you can't really see too much rubble on the ground floor. It's hard to tell anything more than that, or if they're really better than the place where you guys already are. But it's further away at least.
Okay. Don flies down and he says, I see a few buildings. I think, if we go that way, he points, I think we could get a better spot to rest for the night. I just don't want to be real close to the street,
Understandable.
But now
Well
that,
then, lead the right way, little guy.
alright. In that case, yeah, Don will look left and right in the alley, make sure there's nothing there.
Yeah, you look left and right. Doesn't seem to be anything around.
And yeah, he's gonna start leading the group towards those buildings that he kind of saw down the way.
Yeah, kind of went through these buildings, not seeming to run into anything, though you can still hear very faintly somewhere in the distance what must be the dredges, the last huzzah of this parade. But you make your way to that building without incident. This one, you can see it's lower than the building that you were in, uh, only about 3 stories high, and it has what seems to like it must have once been these large barn doors. You can see this large, heavily corroded steel door on still hanging on it, and another one slightly hanging off. But as you flit in towards the rubble, you can see that there are a few ladders heading up to a second floor that's fairly intact.
Hey, this place is looking pretty fun.
Yes, at least the second floor is a bit more intact.
We thought that last time.
There was a ladder.
Yeah,
Does it look recent?
it does not really. It's like these very heavily corroded metal, just like C-shaped rungs put into the side of the wall. If anything, from as far as you can tell, like the purpose of this building must have been something a bit more industrial. You can't really speculate more than that.
Another question I have is, does the first floor have any evidence that like some kind of a brutalo emerged from the soil?
Roll another investigation.
Sure. Investigation. Oh my god, dude. Natural one.
Uh, if you had to guess, you'd think that this is probably used as a place to raise chickens.
Ooh. That's just weird. This is a weird place. Alright, either way, I'm gonna roll on the botch table.
All right, non-combat botch.
Non-combat botch. Why do I always forget this? Sorry. Oh,
I hope it's a
duh.
nickname one.
Botch table, non-combat.
Ugh.
Oh
All right, Don, let me go ahead and take a little look at your character sheet.
Oh, it's not just going to destroy the ladder in a pile of rust.
Yeah, Don, you are flitting around, kind of poking through the bits of rubble littering the ground around here, trying to find traces of what you're increasingly certain is a chicken, uh, some kind of a chicken breeding operation. And as you push one of the things to the side, getting a little bit more leverage with your Tommy wand, you hear this. And as you pull up your Tommy wand, you can see that it's got this nasty crick in it. And it looks like it's
God.
probably not going to work correctly anymore.
No! No, 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 no! Damn it!
Dawn, is it okay?
No! My baby!
Your
My Tommy wand!
baby. You broke it.
No, it's broken! Damn it! I didn't think it'd crack under that kind of pressure. He's like hugging
I'm
it.
sorry. I don't know how to help with this.
No, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. Natrix, don't you got a spell that can like fix this?
Yes, I can try and have a look at it as we rest.
Don's like, he's got puppy eyes.
You know, John, I'm not certain that wand was a great weapon to begin with.
This thing was
You missed like
feared
almost every
on-
shot.
okay, but listen, I was just under pressure, alright? This thing is feared in Xanaris, alright? Feared!
If you say so.
Yeah, listen, I'm just missing. This thing's awesome. Okay? Don's like, he's so in denial right now.
I guess, can we attempt to climb the ladder and go up there?
Yeah, very easily.
Okay.
Yeah, the second floor, as far as you can tell, there are bits of rubble of what you can see. The floor above you, what is the top floor of this building, is partially collapsed, leaving about half of this floor inaccessible. But the other half, yeah, it looks like it's feels pretty sturdy.
What time is it?
It's getting more into like early evening. You're about an hour past sunset, or a little more at this point.
So, should we just take a short break here, or should we spend the night?
What time do you think it is?
Just ask that question. It's half an hour past sunset.
Oh, fuck, man. It's so late. Up all night. Yeah, I mean, I say we rest until we, like, I guess we'll fall. Our sleep schedule will be a little messed up. I guess we just sleep until we wake up, you know?
Yeah, I guess a long rest
I'll
is
kind of
good.
just shrugs.
Long rest, yeah.
Yeah, I guess a long rest technically doesn't have to involve sleeping, does it?
A long rest, what?
Doesn't involve sleeping? As long as
I
you're
mean-
resting for a long time? Or
Doesn't the long rest only need to be like resting for 8 hours? Do you actually need to sleep for that time?
You're expected to sleep for that time, but I mean, you can hang out. There's no penalty to sort of taking a few hours and then sleeping and then taking a few hours.
yeah. Alright then. Yeah, we'll take a long rest and then yeah, we'll be out.
Sure. And I guess at the start of that, can I attempt some repairs to Don's wand? I mean, it says it can't restore a spell to an object, but if the spell is still in there, I can make the wand straight again, at least.
It's probably not gonna work, but
And it might be a bit better.
yes.
Okay, a bit better than it is currently.
It's not exactly a spell. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say roll just straight wisdom, Notrix. You spend a fair bit of time with this magic wand, getting it straight again, repairing this wood. And by the end of it, it looks immaculate. And Dawn, as you take it, you try experimentally firing one shot, and it fires one shot. It seems like now this thing, it hasn't, he repaired it, but not that rapid fire ability. It seems like it's only able to take one shot at a time.
Oh, the auto's broken. No.
I think you might need a fairy mechanic to fix this.
I think you're right. I'm such an idiot. Don's like banging his head against the wall.
Alright then, calm down and we'll sleep on it. We'll figure out our plans in the morning, little guy, and she would just kind of pat him on the head with a finger.
All right. And I'll be right back. 1 sec. And before we go to bed, Don is gonna go to like kind of the door of this building, and he's gonna pull out that string, like that like really translucent sparkly string,
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna like he's gonna see how long the spool is.
You start just pulling out the spool, pulling out the spool, pulling out the spool. It almost seems like there's no limit to the end of the string. And when you start kind of winding it back up, this pile all around you, it seems to take no time at all to wind it back up despite all of the string that's piled.
Whoa. In that case, Don is gonna kind of wrap it. Like he's gonna go like it. Okay. He's gonna go on kind of the outside of the house, like be very stealthy, but he's gonna try to wrap it like around the entire building.
All right, yeah, you, with your little fairy stealthiness, take this silver string and just wind it all around the perimeter of this building
All right.
before flying back to the others.
Yeah, then he flies back to the others, and yeah, he just sets the spool next to him.
So,
Yeah.
do any of you guys do anything else before you rest this evening?
I don't have much to mention other than Elkanah's probably going to be using truth, or rather the Eldritch Truth, as the focus of her meditations tonight before heading off to bed.
I think the only thing. Sorry, go on.
You go first. I'm still thinking.
I think the only thing Don would do is go to Notrix and say, hey, remember this thing?
Yes?
Pulls up the spool. After this morning, I think I figured out what this thing is. I think that, if something touches it, it'll let me know. It's weird.
That sounds situationally useful.
Yeah, like when we're camping and stuff. It's just, yeah, I don't remember learning that, but I mean, either way.
Sounds a bit personal if whatever touches the string touches you like that. But oh well.
Ugh, don't put it that way, man.
I don't know. What does it feel like to have your string touched?
Well, I guess I'll have to figure it out if someone touches my string. You know?
Well,
Look, it is here 175. No one should feel ashamed who touches their string.
Yeah, Natrix.
I was just wondering if you want to just lay your string all over the place like that. That's fine.
Do you want to touch my string? Want to test it out?
Sure. I go over to the perimeter and I just nudge the string with my foot.
What does it feel like?
You almost feel like this. It's like an alarm in your head. Now you definitely know that someone is touching this string.
Stop!
What on
Stop!
earth?
It feels weird.
What if I step over the string?
You're able to step over the string, but as you do, you realize that the string, it's nearly invisible. Without Dawn telling you where it is, you probably would walk right into it, even with your acute perception.
Does it sound like this? Hold on.
Sure.
Is that in your
The
head?
hell noise. That's your alarm in the morning. I hate it. Okay, yep. Don kinda shivers a little and says, yep, it works all right.
So I have a bunch of Taramins still left. Can I attempt more potion making over this night?
You have a bunch of what left?
What are they called? Taramins.
Oh, my intention before was that you pretty much used all of those or did I say half of those?
You said I used 1/3 of them because I rolled.
Yes,
One
I
third of
remember
them.
that. I remember that.
All right, let me look at my potion rules.
Because I rolled a stupidly high number on the loot table, so I just got a massive pile of them.
Yeah, so all right. DC to craft a potion with all materials. So go ahead and make either a nature or an herbalism check to see if you know what kinds of potions you can make with Terramin.
Sure. Let's see.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, as you look over this, you kind of refer back to your own teaching, and you can remember a few potions that you're able to make with Terramin. You know that you can make an antitoxin with Terramin. You know that you can make a strength potion, a magic potion, a potion of diminution, a shrinking potion, or you could make a serpent venom poison with Terramin, though you may need some extra supplies for these.
Do I know what extra supplies I might need for each of these? I mean, last time I just sort of made a magic potion out of it.
Yeah, that was to use your kind of to just use the herbs in your herbalism supplies or use the extra reagents among your herbalism kit. So you get the sense that for a lot of these, you could go out and try to find these specific ingredients to make them if you wanted to have a greater sureness of success, or you could just try to do as best you can with what you have on hand in your herbalism kit, which will make it a bit harder. You might succeed, you might not.
Okay. I guess. Are you allowed to share what the other ingredients are with that roll?
Sure. For which of these?
I guess the shrinking potion sounds interesting. How about that one?
For the shrinking potion, you kind of maybe you have a little notebook among your things with some of your old notes from your herbalism studies. To make that, you need aside from pteromin, you need dry fermented tree root ground down, and you need 6 rune stones that have been carefully ground into powder in a mortar and pestle.
So I just need a tree, I guess. Well, I'm in the worst place in the world to find a tree, I'm pretty sure. Well, okay. I'll keep that in mind then.
So are you trying to make a potion or just kind of researching it right now?
I think. Well, yeah, I think Notix was just thinking over what ingredients he might need, and he thought, "Oh, I best save this until I have a tree root." And we're in the middle of a city, in the middle of the wilderness. So I'm assuming there's no trees around. You can correct me if I'm wrong there.
Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, in the absence of trees, I'm going to pause this avenue of exploration.
Though there are like some dead trees in the swamp.
Yeah, I don't have a tree root. I'm just going to wait until I find one.
All right. So, anyone else?
Nah.
Doesn't sound like it.
Okay. So, I'm not going to have you roll a camp making check because you've already got this sort of a camp made up for you here. You're inside of a building. So, as you all kind of settle down, go ahead and everyone roll travel dice.
Fuck.
Yes, Dawn, your travel dice, it decreases in size. It is now a d6.
Ugh, he's having a rough night.
But you all drift off to sleep. Start taking a rest. What you do, finding some comfort in the sleep in the evening. Until dawn, you hear in the wee hours of the morning, shaking you up, looking and seeing a very faint light in the sky that you're just in the pre-dawn. You've heard something from this alarm, a tingle in the back of your head, and you can hear some kind of a heavy sound and some kind of a low grunting down on the ground floor of this building.
Shit. He's gonna zoom right away and wake up Alcana.
What?
There's something downstairs. And I'm also gonna try to wake up everyone else like real fast, like Natrix, Nia. He's up through like just whispering, like, "Hey, stay quiet, stay quiet."
Yeah, everyone is woken up, all feeling confident. You're still quiet, and you can all hear the same heavy sound, something down on the floor beneath you.
Should we try to attack it?
Probably not.
Can anyone get a guess at what it is first?
Here, I could.
Logi's going to touch his armor and equip it.
Dawn is gonna turn invisible and maybe fly down, like chill on the ladder and see what it is.
You turn invisible, flit over to the ladder, and you can see Brutalo with a leash and a chain. That chain being held by one of these hulks. And you see a couple of other smaller insects crawling along behind it.
Shit. Don's gonna fly back up. He's gonna land on Akana's shoulder and say, "What are those Hulk things? Got a Brutallo on a leash,
Hmm.
and there's a few more behind it. It almost looks like they're tracking us."
Well, that's not very good, is it?
No. Does Don does Don think that they could fit coming up the ladder? Like, is there like a trap door or something on top of the ladder that's like probably closed, or not really, but like, is there like a hole that they have to like squeeze through?
I mean, the ladder kind of goes up to the second floor, almost like a loft, but it seems like the ladder was made for smaller creatures than them, that they might have some trouble getting up the ladder. At least the Brutallo would, maybe the Hulk. The smaller insects, you're unsure.
Oh shit. Yeah, there are these smaller insect-looking things, and they look like they could probably climb up here. How many were there? Like, can I count? Did Don count in his head?
There were three that you could see clearly, but then again, it's still dark. There's very little light in here, just the very faintest light of the pre dawn. Probably a couple hours away from getting your full long rest.
Oh. Yes. Okay. Shit. Any ideas?
Oh, we're trapped in between. We're trapped underneath this roof. So I guess if we need to escape, we need to break this roof. But that's not our first course of action.
Yes, I'd prefer to try and hide unless it's really clear that they're looking for us.
That is when you hear this skittering and something that seems to be crawling up the wall from the ground floor.
Oh. There's a third floor, right?
Yes, there is a third floor. It kind of partially collapsed.
All right. Is there anywhere that we could hide? Like, is there like obvious like furniture and stuff like that, or?
There
Not
are bits
really.
of rubble and things. You guys going to try to hide?
Yeah, let's try to hide.
Yeah.
All right, everyone go ahead and roll a stealth.
Oh, fantastic. Can Okay, nice. Never mind. Stealth. Oh.
Dang, everyone rolled excellently.
Yeah.
Ah!
Oh,
just barely. Oh,
Oh. So
his eyes won.
you see crawling up onto the onto this ledge are a couple of these small, almost bulbous insect-like creatures. As they crawl up onto the wall, they kind of plunk down onto the ledge itself, start spreading across. Most of you have found good places to hide, but Logi, you found a bit of another piece of rubble, maybe a little bit away from the rest. And as one of these is spreading out, another one, you kind of hear it stop, start scuttling directly towards you, Logi. What are you doing?
well, do I have time to react?
Yeah, it's a fair bit of distance away from you when it starts scuttling towards you.
Okay, I will. Oh crap. Use my shadow refuge.
There you go.
All right. Shadow Refuge, though, I believe that only hides you for 6 seconds, doesn't it?
Yeah, but while in the, I have 2 actions, and I am going to cast blink and mirror image.
All right. You cast blink. You cast mirror image, and when
And
go ahead.
and when I poof out, that's the end of my turn, and I roll for blink at the end of my turn. And I poof into the shadow realm.
Yeah. You poof out, and then both you and your illusory forms back into the shadow realms. But this thing is definitely poking around where you were. And then, well, since this is around, do any of the rest of you guys do anything where you can see Logi hiding and this thing investigating around him?
That's still invisible, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, ugh. Right now he's in the shadow refuge, so Don can't really cast any spells on him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, since Don is invisible, because Don knows that like shadow refuge will, like, run out like real soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think Don's gonna hang around, that area, and he's
All
gonna like
right.
prepare himself to. Oh my god, he only has one spell slot left. Uh, okay, this is his self invisibility, right? That he's using on himself right now.
Yeah,
But if he casts invisibility on someone else, he's gonna come out of invisibility, right?
that's right.
Hey, is there a spot where he could try his best to hide? Like where
I'll,
like where he could touch Loki real fast, turn him invisible, then try to like zoom in somewhere
yeah,
to
I'll
like
let
avoid.
you fly over to where Logi is and try to roll stealth again to see if you can find a good hiding spot.
Yes. All right, let's do it. So when he pops back into existence, I'll be ready to like touch him and cast invisibility on him.
All right. 6 seconds later, as Dawn, as you flit over there towards the ceiling, invisible, you see suddenly Logi, bang, apparate back into existence. This bug turn itself around facing him, and you, Dawn, fly down and cast invisibility on Logi.
And then I'm gonna try my best to like zoom right to a hiding spot just in time. Just in time.
All right, you are here. This bug is kind of facing right toward you as you go visible. Make a stealth check with. I think this is going to be disadvantage.
All right, that's fine. Oh, oh, oh.
And even though you flit into existence, it seems like you're too small, you're too fast for this bug to take notice of you, and you flit behind one of these support pillars in this place. Did not seem to notice you, and it seems to stop, being certain that Logi was there a second ago. Kind of scutters around, skulls over to the other side, then finally scuttles away towards the wall where you see it just effortlessly spider climb horizontally, or I should say vertically, across the wall, and then back down.
Okay. Now can Don try to listen in the bottom floor, like hear them moving around, try to see if like figure out when they're gonna leave.
Yeah, you kind of perch at the edge, listening. You can hear a couple of sounds that you don't understand. This. You're not sure if it's meant to be speech or if it's just animalistic, odd, clacky barking. But after about another 5 minutes, there's a shuffle, and they all leave, exit the space of your alarm spell.
All right, it's safe.
You all, exhausted, kind of return to your places and uh, are able to finish up your long rest.
Woo.
Okay, so huh. So I cast spells during that, but I regain spells on a short rest.
Yeah, and sleeping a couple more hours, I'll let that count as both finishing your long rest and a short rest. I'm not going to say that you have to. I'm not going to be super draconian about when you regain your spells.
Yeah. Thank you. Whew. That was close.
No kidding. Guess it seems like maybe we had the wrong idea about who's in charge around here.
Yes. Perhaps what we saw before was more like a cattle drive than anything else.
Maybe.
Can't make assumptions on what's what just because something looks monstrous after all.
So, what do we do next in this crazy city?
Well, there is a source of where all those things, leading towards. Maybe I'm wondering if we could find the center of it. Although, thing is, looks like those things are, uh,
How about the
scouting
original
around?
reason we even came here to begin with, to find out more of the history? We seem to have had a good amount of luck with that yesterday. And who knows, maybe we can get a lead on where this jail is.
That's right. That's right.
Though, I think one of the can we use the word hologram? The illusions in the square we saw earlier. It may have shown the prison, and it may have shown exploding. It might have been what's the word? Theoretical. That
So you're
Oh,
saying,
what are we looking for?
the jail might not even be around?
All that's left is a bunch of nondescript ruins that won't reveal much of anything, but I suppose we won't know until we get there. Notrix, so where did your brother say it was in relation to the city?
Oh, he said it was southwest, but I don't know how far out of our way we should be going for this. But I was maybe hoping to find something in the city that would give us more direction, but
Well, maybe we can head in the general direction southwest within the city and see what we turn up along the way.
I'm sorry, I feel like I am partway out of the loop here. What is this southwest of the city that you're looking for?
well, it was mentioned that the jail of Deveratus was around the city. And well, that's a name that is seemingly increasing of importance lately. At least some people seem to think so.
You know, all these creatures stirring like this, it seems bad. I wonder what it portends.
Which direction have we been heading as we're moving through the city?
Pretty much westward into the city. Westward, maybe
Okay,
a little bit
so,
southward.
While we can't go where they're headed, as I think we all agree that's suicide, maybe we could find some higher ground close by and try to spy on this location with a spyglass.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well,
In what direction?
there are
There are many
skyscrapers
tall
everywhere.
buildings here. Yes, exactly.
And a few of them seem to have causeways and bridges going between them, some of them pretty high up.
In what direction was the parade going last night?
It was heading west, deeper into the city.
Right.
Okay. So where would be the closest skyscraper, or maybe skyscraper connected to other skyscrapers?
Well, I spotted a few from the boulevard. Right now we're about a one very long block away from there, but won't take us long to walk that way. I'm not certain if there are more of these things out. They seem to all come out at sunset.
Well, if we do see any more of
Ah,
them, I think it's possible we may be able to speak with some of the smaller ones. Just a hunch. Some of them are definitely not animals, but some of them might be. Maybe the smaller ones. And well, yeah, animals are temperamental to speak to, but it could be a source of information.
That one, yeah, because okay, Don says, yeah, I mean, some of them might even be able to hold a conversation. You know, I mean, one of them was holding a brutalo by a leash like it was a dog.
Well, those ones I don't think are animals, and I don't think we have many ways of communicating with them.
Alcana just immediately glances over in Nia's direction, just kind of giving her a knowing look.
Yes. Nia returns the look.
Maybe that's not as impossible as one might think.
Well, they do appear to be hunting us, so engaging in them in conversation might not lead to a satisfactory conclusion.
Yeah,
That's
probably won't
fair.
at all. Hey, I say we yeah, I mean, I think the best thing to do is what Fox said. I'll
So,
cast
so we want to
cast spell
go and
trace.
get high then.
Yeah, high ground. That one that's like maybe a block away. That Fox was saying.
So, as you all make your way, kind of pack up your camp, make your way back out onto the street, you find that you start walking very stealthily, but quickly between all of you, you don't hear any more sounds of wrestling, no sounds of cracked concrete, no sounds of scuttling. The city seems as dead as it was during the daytime yesterday. Eventually, make your way to one of these skyscrapers along the main boulevard. Find one that's at least intact enough on the inside for you to get onto an upper level, and you find that around the third floor there is a broad causeway that makes its way between several of these buildings. Not all the way, and you can see bits where it's crumbling away, but you could maybe follow this a piece of the way.
All right.
Everyone be on the lookout for unstable architecture.
Got it.
Gotcha.
So, where are we heading? Simply deeper into the city?
I want to get close enough to have a look at where they're going.
As if they do have a destination.
All right. So, whoever's taking the lead in winding through these causeways and bridges, make a survival check.
Want Don to do it? He's been doing it a little bit.
Logi could do it too.
Yeah, Loki do it. Go for it. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Loki, you take the lead on this, wending your way through a few of these buildings, kind of at some points having to walk single file on this, what must have been a grand sort of sky bridge that went the entire length of these boulevards. Between these buildings, some of them more decrepit than others. Eventually, this one ends, and you find yourselves having to make your way higher into this building. Luckily, you've come to one that's a bit more of a skyscraper, a bit more towering, but also a bit more intact. You're able to make your way onto what seems to be uh, maybe the 15th level, where you find that there is one of these sky bridges. It's almost like a suspension bridge, or not a suspension bridge. It's like an arced bridge, and it's one of the few that's not twisting, kind of dangling in the wind, that goes all the way, actually seems to cross several blocks. And from this point, you can actually get a fairly good perspective down on the grid of this place.
Wow. This is, well, it's its own kind of amazing.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been on a building this tall.
Me neither.
Does that freak you out? The fact that you guys can't fly? Ugh, I could never imagine not being able to fly up here. Ugh.
From up here, you can see clearly the patterns in the streets. And look at this; they're all symmetrical.
How
Yeah.
unchaotic.
Is it like a? Is that like more square symmetrical, or is it more like the streets are kind of going into one center circle?
It seems like they all have these geometric patterns. Some of them are more zigzags, and several of them look more complex. But you can see now that all of the wider kind of boulevard streets, the places where they're not broken, all kind of mirror each other.
Ah. So it's not exactly New York, but it's pretty organized. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody cursing at each other at the top of their lungs is definitely not New York.
Anyways, why don't you look out with your spyglass, see if you can spot anything.
Sure, why not? Neil, have a look.
All right, yeah, roll your perception, Nia, with advantage. Oh, well, you probably don't need it, but you can roll it again just in case. Yeah, we'll go with the 28. As you hold up your spyglass and look down the boulevard, you can see more clearly from this perspective that this main drag has a lot more spots of rubble alongside it than the other wider streets. And you can see where that changes, where it curves around a corner, extends further, and then through the haze, which is not as heavy this morning, you can see that it enters a part of the city that looks slightly raised. And you can see that it was maybe once some kind of a city square or something. You can see these tall pillars that don't seem to be supporting anything. And you can see what looks like this large metal uh, tank. It takes you a second to realize is almost like some kind of a huge crucible. And it seems there are several chains that are hanging down from these pillars. You're not can't see exactly what's going on there, but this looks like it is where all of these signs of rubble and of this parade are leading to.
Well, I think I might have found where they're going at least.
What's that?
She kind of points in that direction, then realizes, oh yeah, that won't matter. And she's just going to explain it.
So it's like a center, right?
That's not ominous at all.
Just how big is this crucible?
Yeah, how big does it look?
Yeah, looking at it from this perspective, it's almost deceptive because it looks like almost what you'd expect for a large, like a metallurgy operation, but realizing how high up you are, it must actually be a couple magnitudes bigger. This crucible itself is probably at least 30 feet tall.
Wow. Things probably, I don't know, 30 feet tall-ish?
Sweet Sir Doman.
And where are the pillars in relation to the crucible?
They seem to be spaced just around the edges of this slightly raised square, just kind of freestanding. Look like they're probably some kind of rusted metal.
How many pillars did you say there was?
4.
I don't think I said how many, but it's just kind of, they seem to be interspersed around this plaza. It's more than 6, if that's what you were thinking.
Yeah, last time there were pillars, there were 6. Or do we want to head? Do we want to head in that direction, or is it? Maybe we can stay up in the sky bridges.
We can't see any critters there now, right?
Hard to tell from here, but there definitely doesn't seem to be any activity down in the city.
It's Friday, not Thursday.
Okay. Is there like a tall building closer to it? Like, what's the closest skyscraper?
Right now, you're kind of at the edge of one of the long metal sort of gridwork sky bridges. It seems to stretch across several blocks to another tall skyscraper that's a good deal closer to that place, maybe a block away.
I think maybe we should get close to that building over there and wait around to see if they become active again, and try to see if we can figure out what it's all about.
Yes, and if we see any statues that look like them, it's probably them. Keep that in mind.
Yes, we don't want to get surprised in the alley like we did last night.
Sounds like a plan to me. Yeah.
So I guess can we start walking across the sky bridges? Maybe being a bit careful to test the structural integrity of each part as we proceed.
Yes.
So you all line up, and this sky bridge, it is not very wide, and you can tell there is some heavy corrosion on it. It still seems to have no problem taking your weight, but you can feel the wind kind of whipping around you as you single file, bracing yourselves along the edge of it, start walking across, just to see how graceful you are. Let's have everybody roll either an athletics or an acrobatics check.
This is the point where we'll lose a partner.
Sorry, it's disadvantage. I'll take the 13. That face.
Well, speaking about losing a party member,
Nah, we hold on to you.
So you are wending your way across, hand over hand. Who's in the lead here? It's probably Logie, right? Because Logie was in the lead before.
yeah, okay. That's a good visual if he trips too.
You watch Logie putting himself hand over hand, and as you are down here, get to about halfway across this tall sky bridge, looking as 140, 150 feet down is the level of the street. You feel the wind pick up, and you feel the bridge start creaking a little bit, start shaking. You can feel the cracks in it. You see little bits of oxidized metal flake off and fall down into the void, down to the street somewhere far below. You see Logie, short as he is compared to most of you, start to lose his grip. Logie, I need you to make a dexterity or a strength saving throw.
Hey, can I cast a resistance on him before he does that? Like, can he zoom over to him? Done.
How good is your perception, Dawn, to see this before it happens? Roll a perception check.
I have 16.
My finger is hovering over the saving throw button.
Yeah, Dawn, you see that Logie's starting to have a tough time. You flip over to him. You quickly cast resistance on him. Meanwhile, Logie, go ahead and add a D8 to that.
Gonna need that D8. Ooh.
And you kind of you feel yourself half thrown over the side, but you manage to grip more strongly to it as you feel the wind whip around you. And you all kind of hunker down for a second before you feel this gust of wind dying down. You can still feel the bridge swaying gently beneath you.
Jeez, man.
Careful.
Yeah,
Careful.
Maybe we should be holding ropes.
that's a good idea.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, can Notrix take out a rope and just we all hold on to it?
Yes.
Sure, yeah. A rope between all of you?
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like we're about half of the way there now. Let's continue down this bridge. You can feel the wind continuing to blow, taking careful, sturdy steps. You feel a little bit more confident with the rope held between all of you. But as you are 3/4 of the way down, you feel another strong gust of wind blow across. This time I need everyone to make either a strength or a dexterity saving throw.
Don't forget the +2!
Don't forget the +2!
Logie, no!
Can I do the same thing with him?
Not right now because it's all of you making this check.
True. Okay. Oh, fuck. Well, I mean, I don't know what Dom's gonna do, but yeah.
Yeah, as there's this other gust of wind, you see Dawn, tiny as he is, fluttering around you, just get sort of blown off course, holding onto the edge of the rope. And you see the same thing happen to Logie. As Logie starts to go over the edge, Logie, you kind of grasp on, kind of splutter to hold onto the edge of this bridge as you still have the rope clutched firmly in one hand. I need Logie and Dawn. Well, what are you guys doing as you see Logie almost blown off and Dawn picked up by the wind?
Focus on Logie.
Well, wait, I think what we're doing, I guess, is holding on to the rope really tightly so Logie can pull himself back on.
I mean, I don't really see what else to do.
That's our first course of action.
All right, Notrix and Alcani, you sort of brace yourself on the rope as Logie is hanging on. Logie, I need you to make an athletics check.
We're walking in the air.
Bro.
You see Logie trying to grasp on to the edge of this rope, holding on. And as he is trying to pull himself back up, you see as his stubby fingers reach for the oxidized edge of the bridge, that piece just boom, break under his fingers. And Logie, in that instance of surprise, you lose your grip on the rope and you start to fall.
Okay.
Logie!
I would like, let's see, let me just take this.
God, I wish I had feather fall.
I'd like to change one of my
15
spells.
stories.
I'd like to spend a foresight to change a spell.
Sure.
Okay. So Notrix, as a bonus action, I thought this would be a reaction, but still, I am going to cast Grasping Vine. So
Ooh.
Notrix waves his hands, and a vine just sprouts out of the rusted catwalk, and it sort of whips out and tries to encircle Loki and pull him backwards.
Yeah, Logi, you see this magical vine whip out of the catwalk as you start to fall towards you. Are you going to try to resist it, or are you going to let it grab you?
I'm not going to try to resist it.
All right, and you watch as this vine just springs out of the edge of the catwalk, grasps Logi by the foot, and just yanks him like a yo-yo back onto the causeway. Meanwhile, Dawn, you are flittering around in the air. Make another dexterity saving throw.
Whoa, 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 whoa. And
And you manage to kind of fight through the wind, dive down, sort of cutting through, and land right on Logi as he's pulled onto the causeway again.
whoa. Damn. The wind is crazy up here. Hey,
I'm
Natrix,
thinking
good
not
catch.
I was worried for a second there.
Well,
Huh. That was close.
Yeah,
Look.
you're right, man. Talking to Logi.
I I hope so.
You look like you're in
Well-
shock. Yeah. Why don't you take a breather? Let's try
We
to.
should not take a breather here. Look, we are almost to the end. Let's just quickly get off this bridge.
Yeah.
Yes,
You're right. You're right.
indeed.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. You all pick up your places on the rope again. This time you're pretty close. It seems like that was the last big gust of wind, and you all safely press yourself off of this rickety bridge and onto the roof of this other building.
Whew.
You look down and you can all see more clearly that it's about another block away to this kind of raised plaza. You can see the stairs leading up to it, though you also on this wide, you're not sure if it's concrete or if it's actual stonework. It looks a bit more like stonework of this platform that holds this public square. That there are a number of perfectly round or oval holes that look like they've been bored through it.
it looks like the Brutaro or the Umber Hulks have been around.
Yes.
Huh. Damn.
Well, how about we all have a look around to see if we can see any actual present critters.
Yes.
They're all hiding for the day.
So you guys are all looking down from the top of this building to see if you can spot any more of these insectoid creatures.
Yeah.
Logi's not looking down in a while.
Yeah, anyone who wants to can roll a perception check.
Or maybe we just spend 10 minutes see if someone come out of the house or anything, just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wait, you look down. You definitely don't see any more movement. You don't see anyone, any creatures coming out of these buildings. You do notice that there is another kind of more one of those mid-tier causeways that starts at a building a couple buildings away from this one and seems to run right past that plaza if you wanted to look at it from an elevated position without getting right into it. But you feel very confident after about 10 minutes that none of these creatures are awake and active around here.
Well, it looks like it's quite safe. I guess as it was yesterday.
For now, yeah.
For now, indeed.
I guess we should move quick then before they start coming out.
Yeah, so we have the whole day until sunset when they came out last time.
Yeah. Okay then.
So what do we want to do?
guess-
Do we want to descend all the way to the ground and approach the square, or do we want to go in that tower next to the square to get a better view?
I'd say the option that lets us view it from the distance, namely the second one.
Yeah, I'm
Continue
down for that.
cautiously then. Yeah, so I guess you said it was a little bit away, so I guess we're going to climb down this tower, make our way across the ground to this other tower, go up and get a good look at the interesting stuff.
So you guys all make your way down the 14 floors to ground level. It's a little bit tricky. There are places where there are no ladders, no stairs, where you have to kind of crawl over bits of rubble that have collapsed. So it takes you a little while, but you do ultimately get onto the ground level. City streets eerily quiet. And you approach this building that seemed to be the start of another one of these mid-tier third level causeways. As you approach it, you can see that it's the ground of it, the facade, it's seems a lot sturdier than other buildings. You can see that there are actually these visible dark orange metal bracings all around it, and these heavy, almost looking like blast doors around it. And you have to do almost a full perimeter of the building before you see one of these blast doors that has kind of rusted away in one corner, enough that you might be able to get in. It looks pitch dark inside.
That's not a problem for Alcana. Let's go out there and have a look.
True.
So, Alcana, everyone following her into the building.
Mm-hmm.
So you all follow Alcana into the building. And those of you who do have dark vision, you can see that it just smells. There's this like dampness in this building. And as you step forward, Alcana, you almost stumble, where you can feel the ground like sort of descend underneath you, and you can see that the kind of groundwork, the foundation of this place looks like it's been completely torn up.
Well then.
Do you think it's safe to climb?
I mean, we can try.
There does seem to be some kind of an old. It doesn't even look like a ladder. It looks more like this series of indentations in the poured concrete wall of this place that you could use to get up onto the next floor.
All right, let's do it. I think Dawn's gonna fly up and just play play scout and just make sure that top floors are fine before proceeding.
So Dawn, you flit over ahead of the others to this place that seems to be your means of getting onto an upper floor. As you see the others winding their way, kind of stumbling over themselves with these uneven pits in the ground, you suddenly feel a rumble underneath you.
Oh.
And then you all see, as there is, or those of you with dark vision see, that there is this thing, this long, broad head that pokes out of the ground through one of these pits, and then another one, and then another one. And you realize after a second that you are surrounded by brutalos. And Alcana, as you see one of these look directly towards you, it is not wearing a collar. And with that, let's go ahead and take a break. Here in this wide, dark building, only occasionally broken by pillars, Notrix and oh shoot, is it just Notrix? Well, at any rate, those of you who don't have dark vision, you can only barely tell what's going on right here. You've heard this grind of something beneath you, and there are those of you who can see these 3 ravenous brutalos who now have popped out of the ground, out of this rubble, the torn out foundation, and are staring the 6 of you in this party down. Dawn, what are you doing?
Oh shit. Wait, does Dawn see them?
Oh yeah, Dawn does not have dark vision. You hear something happen, but you can't see what's going on.
I look like down from the 2nd floor and I just yell down, "Hey, what was that?"
It's more Brutalos and they're not collared.
Ah, shit. I think Dawn, for now, would probably. Okay, I have a question. Does Druidcraft produce some kind of like a light? No, right?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think enough for you to see what's going on in this big dark space.
No.
It only lasts a second anyway.
I think Dawn is going to, in that case, I think he's gonna try to figure out like where he heard the noise come from, and he's gonna try to aim in this general direction. Like it's probably not gonna even be a hit, but he'll try.
Roll a perception with disadvantage.
Okay. Fair. Fuck.
Yeah, you're vaguely aware that there seem to be 3 areas on the floor where something big has just made some kind of a noise, but you can't really tell much more than that.
Ah, damn it! He's gonna cast his Tommy
Wait,
gun
how
doesn't
are we
work.
rolling initiative? Are we doing it in groups or individually?
I'm just keeping the old initiative order.
Oh,
In that case,
We can't see that.
yeah, we can't see it.
Oh, you can?
no, we can't.
All right,
Right, I
hold
can
on.
see the initiative order.
We can see
Well, I can only
Loki.
see the Brutalo and Logi for some reason.
Oh, huh.
Yeah, I rolled initiative. Weren't we supposed to?
Sure. In that case, do you guys want to do initiative in groups?
Yeah, why not?
All right, hold on. Let me get rid of Logi. What is your initiative? Is it 13 or is it 10?
I mean, it was 10. Why would it be 13? I don't understand.
Because right now, from what I can see, you have 2 initiatives on here.
What? I can only see the one.
Okay, that's great. Well, then, if you're doing groups, what are the groups?
Let's do It's been a while since we did Druid Pals.
Yeah, let's do Team Blind.
Team Blind!
Team
This is
Psychic?
a great idea.
All right, so Druids, Psychic, and then I guess Logi and Fox.
The other guys.
Yes.
All right, so Loki, you've already rolled for I guess you and Fox. So then, Nia or Alcana roll, and Dawn or Notrix roll.
Want me to roll?
Sure.
Of course.
All right.
Want me to just finish out this turn and then
Well, we'll say that was a free thing since you didn't really take an action. All right, Team Psychic, what are you guys doing?
Well, let's get some damn light in here to begin with, so Team Blind isn't blind anymore.
Thank you.
And I have a very fancy way of doing that.
I like fancy.
Yep, just sort of like raises her her sword sort of like runs her hand just along the length of the blade, sort of like the magic weapon animation from Dark Souls, and the weapon goes ahead and is now very bright.
Yeah, you can see just this burst of radiant light as Alcana raises her sword aloft. You can see it casting shadows on all the bits of rubble and masonry throughout this. And now you can see more clearly the boreholes covered up by old bits of masonry that these things must have been lying in wait in or maybe sleeping in as they are all staring you down. So that is your action, Alcana. Doing anything for a bonus action? Or Nia, for that matter?
Did I let her finish first?
You know what? There's a spell that is a bonus action that I've basically never used, that I at least want to try this once so this bonus action doesn't go to waste.
Oh, interesting. Till the spell ends, your weapon deals an extra 1d4. All right, very nice. That's a concentration spell, so let me put something on you so I know you have concentration. With that, Nia, what are you doing?
You know, I see no reason to complicate things. Unfortunately, Nostrix isn't within 5... Or is he? No, he's not within 5 feet of it, is he? The one closest to him?
No.
Oh, no sneak attack. Okay. But yeah, we don't need sneak attack. We can do this. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, all three of those managed to hit. Just bam, 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 cutting into this thing. You can see it opening its wide, flat teeth, giving this low croaking as you can see the blood dripping out from where your daggers dig into that. That's a total of 39 damage.
Yeah, the last one was a punch, by the way. She punched it so hard it did 15 damage.
Holy
Jeez.
shit, Nia!
Just
God.
39 damage so casually on each turn like it's no thing. Is that your turn, Nia?
And I'm going to move back here because mobile.
Oh yeah, mobile. Now, however, it is these Bulette's turn, and this one, it is going to it sees Fox right up close to it, and it is just going to go ahead and scurry up and try to take a bite out of Fox. Fox manages to sidestep it, kind of half leaping as it snaps at just where his foot was. And it just, you see its beady eyes look up at him. Team Druids.
Okay. This druid has a question. Okay, so it's a little embarrassing, but I've never actually used sneak attack before. Okay, so this one is a little, like, is it looking towards this way?
Oh, what's that?
Is this guy looking towards, like, this group?
It's looking towards the rest of the group, but it doesn't seem like it's terribly unaware of its surroundings.
So it's aware of me, is what you're saying.
Probably. You didn't, you weren't hiding or anything.
Yeah, it wasn't very subtle. I kind of yelled down like, "Hey, what the hell is that?" Okay, never mind. I'll sneak attack will be for another day. But in that
Well,
case,
how about I take my turn? Then maybe you can get sneak attack when I have done my turn.
sure.
Yeah. And I mean, besides, Don regularly uses his sneak attack. He just uses it for his blood bolt.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, your blood bolt
Oh.
uses sneak attack.
Wait, really? Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. Well, I'll take my turn and you'll get sneak attack anyway, because I'm going to cast Conjure Animals. Always makes the combat more fun,
All right.
if by fun you mean confusing. And I'm going to summon... what am I going to summon? I'm going to summon... Notrix is thinking back to his time at Ardoin Zoo. And he is going to summon 4 rampaging apes.
4 rampaging apes.
Yeah, that's what I feel like today.
All right. Let's see. Do I have apes on here?
I don't know.
point, I'm just seeing I've got a druid summon section.
It would have been in the list I sent you a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was in that list because I remember adding everything, or at least most of the things from that list to here, and I think it's not in druid summons and it's not in beasts, but let me see if it's in the default. Ape. All right. Hold on 1 second. Let me just get some kind of a token for that. Why is there no default art for apes?
Maybe go with bears instead, if that's
Come
easier.
on.
A gorilla,
Yeah, no void gorillas in there.
a monkey.
Oh yeah, there are gorilla ones. All right, a gorilla's an ape. Hold on 1 second.
I'm pretty sure that's what it means by it. The picture I have is a bit like a gorilla.
Or remember that one fight
All
with
right,
the...
so that's four of these.
Yeah.
Holy shit,
Okay,
that's horrifying.
let's see how much they have. 19 hit points and 12 AC. All right, so where do these apes go?
Well, two of them appear right in front of me, in between me and the Brutella here.
Okay.
And the other two are over here, distracting this one, I think.
All right, yeah, these rampaging apes appear right in front of this Brutalo, in front of two of these, and start messing them around. Oh, let me go ahead and make sure you have access to that ape.
Sure. Ape.
All right, yeah, now you should be able to control an ape.
Do they get their turn now?
Sure.
Sure. So they each get 2 fist attacks. Let's see. Yeah, so these two on the left are going to punch this Brutalo.
All right, 4 fists of fury. And yeah, 3 of those manage to hit, and you just watch as a couple of these gorillas are pounding down on them. You know, one of them gives a couple of pounds on its chest first before they just rain their fists down on this big armored creature.
And yeah, the two on the right follow suit.
Okay.
So I did 5 there, but yeah.
So that was 20, 14, 18, 22. And all right, again, 3 of those managed to hit. That's 17 for a total of 22 points of damage as they are just, pounding this thing. You see one of its legs almost, it's trying to pull itself in as it is under all of these simian punches.
I rounded up my turn by just doing a shillelagh. And
All right.
Now you can go, Don. A bunch of gorillas have appeared out of nowhere.
Hell yeah! Alright, in that case, I think I'm catching your drift. Don's gonna, he's gonna help you out first, and he's gonna fly maybe right here. Boop. And, you know what? Can I spend a foresight to change up spell to
Sure.
that I had prepared? I would like to, summon a flame blade. Woo!
Ooh.
Yeah. I rarely use that, but it's actually really good. And yeah, I'm gonna wait. Is it an action just to?
Oh, that's a bonus action to summon the flame blade, so you still have your action to attack.
Swing it. Okay. In that case, let me.
And it's a spell attack, so this actually uses your wisdom.
Right. D20 plus my wisdom. Sorry, for some reason it doesn't do it ASAP.
Yeah, well, it should be 20. Yeah, a d20 plus your wisdom plus your proficiency. So your wisdom is what?
2.
Uh,
And then
2. So yeah, d20 plus 6.
6. Okay. Damn it.
And you try to swing this flame blade down, but it just whizzes over this creature's head. You know, you're too caught up with how neat and badass you look swinging this blade around.
Dang it. Okay, but also, hey, oh, well, that's if I hit it. Never mind. I'll figure that later. Okay, yeah, end of my turn.
All right, Logie and Fox. You see Fox turn around and looking at this one that's menacing him, he just takes out his short sword, puts it kind of on point, and tries to do a couple of quick attacks at it. He tries to hit it with his pommel, but the one of them does manage to hit. You see it leaves this gash right on the side of this thing's face. Logie, what are you doing?
Okay, first I'm going to move far enough away that it can't attack me without getting out of range of forks. And then I'm going to blast it 2 times.
You try to blast 2 times. You see these 2 flashes of light, but both of them just whiz over this thing's head, not coming close to making impact.
Yeah, and that's my turn.
All right. You see this Violette, this Brutalo. It's sort of weaving its head around, looking back and forth. And then it crouches down and leaps into the air over these gorillas and right on top of Nia and Alcana. I need both of you guys to make either strength or dexterity saving throws. So, Nia, you take only 14 slashing damage as you leap out of the way, but its claws still manage to rake down you. Alcana, you take 14 slashing and 14 bludgeoning damage as this thing pins you to the ground. And yeah, you are right down there. And that is its turn. Now it is this other one.
I don't suppose my itch can attack of opportunity as it jumped.
And lost concentration. Rip spell.
I guess it would be. Yeah, they'd get an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, so as it jumps, the apes try and bat at its legs with their fists.
Oh, those both hit.
And multi-attack doesn't trigger for attacks of opportunity.
No, it's only a single attack for an attack of opportunity.
Yep.
Yeah, now it's this other one. And this one
wait,
is just...
I'd like to spore it first, before it takes its turn.
All right, let me make a Constitution saving throw for it.
4 damage.
And it fails. And you see the spores kind of just weave around its scaly head.
Nasty.
At this one also rears back, leaps into the air, and boom, right on top of Notrix and these apes. I need Notrix and both of these apes to make dexterity or strength saving throws.
What's the range on the aura? I don't think the apes get it.
10 feet.
Yeah, they're just outside the aura. So, as it lands, you see that one of these apes just poofs out of existence. It is gone, smashed under this thing. Notrix, you take 14 bludgeoning and 14 slashing damage as this thing comes down on you, knocking you prone. One of these apes manages to kind of move itself out to the side, but it still takes 14 slashing damage.
Huh. Let's see.
And I applied that already. But yeah, now you've got this Brutalo on top of you.
I also
That is
need
its
to roll a
turn.
concentration saving throw.
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
Let's see. And do the two damage types get added together, don't they? It's not two different attacks.
They're actually in its stat block. It counts as two separate attacks, so you only need to roll a 10. Yeah, you managed to keep up your concentration.
The apes continue to beat their chests. Although I think it's dark now, so they can't see, which is not great.
No, it's still bright.
Yeah,
The
that
sacred
wasn't.
weapon isn't concentration.
Ah.
It was the divine favor spell, which, yeah, it did all of zippity doo dah.
I was mistaken.
Zippity.
All right, Nia, our team psychic.
Let's not keep this complicated.
Try getting up.
Well, yeah, she would get up.
Right, yeah, one of those attacks does manage to hit into it. You see it dig into this thing's flesh.
And yeah, maybe she'd think twice about going ahead and activating that spell again, so I think that's her turn.
All right, Nia.
You know, I really agree that we just keep it simple.
Is this towards the one on Alcana or the one on Notrix?
The first one is on the one towards Alcana.
All right.
So is the second one.
All right, hold on. I need to calculate a couple of things. That's so much damage. That's 31 plus 12, 43 points of damage.
Jesus Christ, why is Nia
However,
so
it's-
goddamn stacked?
Still standing, though you can see it is just now covered in its own slick blood.
And if the punch hits that one too.
The punch, however, unfortunately does not hit. That one just kind of bounces off of its armor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she just DDS spec the shit out of this thing, but punching it didn't happen. And then, just for the fun of it, she gonna move over here with the gorilla. No, over this way. No multi-target jumps. No.
All right, yeah, you move yourself out of the way. Meanwhile, this other Bulette, it is still in combat with Fox, who's managed to nick it, and it is going to try to bite at him. It manages to land a hit, and you hear Fox shout out, "Oh!" as it just grips onto his side. You can hear a rib crack. It lets go, but you see that Fox is looking pretty rough.
Fox, no!
Uh-oh.
Team Druid.
I guess my apes spring into action. First up.
All right.
Let's see. So this one moves here. This one moves here. Let's see. The two on the left are going to attack the one on top of me.
Okay. Or of the three, the two. Okay.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, only one of those attacks manages to hit this time.
And the remaining gorilla on the right is going to try and just slam against the one on top of Arcana.
All right, it manages to land one fist right at this thing, punch it upside the head. It is waving its head around kind of drowsily. It looks very rough.
And Udon, what are you thinking of doing this turn?
Well, in that case, I think I'm gonna swing on it with my, my fire blade. Yeah. Nice.
Okay, the one right next to you?
Yep.
Yeah, you try to hit it, but again, it just kind of slithers out of the way of your flaming sword.
Oh, come on! Damn it! All right, his turn, I guess. He missed. Or actually, can I do my bonus action?
Yeah, you could cunning action to disengage and do a blood bolt if you want.
Yes, please. Yes, please. And pew.
And
Why
you
is that
try
on-
to, yeah, it shouldn't have been disadvantaged, but you wouldn't have.
It's 11.
That a first one wouldn't have hit anyways. Yeah, you try to line out this blood bolt, but it just over its head into the darkness.
Damn it.
And I guess, wait, what state am I currently in? Underneath this?
You've been knocked prone, but I said that it's got you pinned. It doesn't actually have you pinned. You can probably pull yourself up out of the way if you wish.
Yeah, I think I wish that. I think I have enough movement just to go here, just scramble out from underneath its many legs and stand up here. Yeah, and going to attack it with my stick. And I'm going to kick it up the arse, I guess, because that's the part that's facing me.
Yeah, you try to hit it with your staff, try to hit it with your fist, but this tail is just whipping around too fast for you to make contact with it.
That's my turn.
All right. Team Logie Fox. I think what Fox is going to do, he sort of, you see him kind of clutching his side, looking around. He is going to disengage and just kind of get out of the way of everyone else. And you see him place a hand to his own side and try to heal himself. Meanwhile, Logie, what are you doing?
The old Shadow Refuge blink mirror image.
Yeah, you see Logie just poof out of existence and then back onto the material plane a second later.
And then
And
away
then
again.
back out of existence. All right. With that, you see this Bullet spin around, looking right towards you, Alcana. You see it open its mouth, these broad, flat teeth, and try to snap at you. And you feel your arm caught in its iron grip. And you manage to pull away as it snaps a couple more times impotently at the air, but you feel the pain in your muscles as your arm is practically crushed.
Ugh.
Meanwhile, this other Bulette, it sort of spins around, looks at this ape that's been beating on it, and it's going to try to bite the ape. It does a great, big, nasty ape bite, and that ape just poofs away.
While it's doing that, can I spore it?
Sure.
3 damage. Take that.
And yeah, you see it look very slightly less able. Okay, with that, Team Psychic, what are you doing?
Zori?
Good question. She's looking a little rough healing wise, but I think we're going to try to go ahead and just not keep this complicated. They'll suck.
Yeah, you try to swing at this thing right in front of you, but once more it's kind of shifting side to side.
Ugh.
That's a good idea, Rom. I think I'm going to do that. So yeah, Nia's going to run back up to the one here that Alcana seems to be having a little bit of trouble with. Yeah.
DDS.
That first dagger is enough, and as you stick it into this thing, it kind of rears up onto its hind legs, and you hear it bellow and give this long, low cry that seems to shake this whole structure before it falls over, clearly dead.
In that case, she's going to move where that thing's corpse is and use her other attack and her bonus action attack on this one.
All right. Oh yeah, those both hit. Those both hit. And not only that, they do just enough damage. Why don't you tell me what it looks like when you eviscerate this one?
She, she does the first slash of the DDS spec to one of them, but it kind of dies. So she just jumps over and does it to the other one. And then realizing that it's almost dead, she just punches a hole right through where she slashed it.
Yeah, you pull back your fist with a little bit of gore on it, and its eyes just wide. It slumps down to the ground, dead. But as it does,
Wow.
you hear an odd echo, delayed by at least 6 seconds of that cry that the other one gave. Then you hear a skittering.
Oh.
And then you see emerging from the floor in another spot here, this other creature, long, almost looking like some kind of a termite thing. And then you see more of these small insect-like things coming up out of the ground, out of these holes left behind by these big monsters. And then you see yet another one of these brutalos coming up out of the ground around you. Dawn, what are you doing?
Oh, fuck me. Oh no. I think Dawn would see these bugs coming out, and he'd say, shit, there's more! And, you know what? He's gonna 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, fly up to this beetle bug right here, and he's gonna try to just slash at it.
All right, roll that attack.
Okay. Sorry.
As you slash at this bulbous-looking bug with your flaming sword, it suddenly bursts, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Whoa! There you are. Fuck.
You take 13 points of acid damage as this thing just bursts all over you.
Ow, ow, ow! Ah!
You alright, Don?
Hot, 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 hot! Careful, those things! Their blood is acidic or something!
But yeah, you see that this bug is clearly dead. But that is when you hear something else. You hear this twang of an arrow string, and then you see this arrow ping from somewhere high above impact one of these brutalos over here, and it sort of shaking its head, seeming to almost be struggling or like distracted by the force of this arrow that's hit it. And suddenly there is this cloud of smoke, of fog that starts rising up from the center of this group all around you, and you hear more aeroplanes bang into one of these other ones, bang into one of these others, and you hear more of these. You hear a voice from above shouting at you in common. All of you, quickly, Up here. That won't distract them for very long.
Okay, thank you.
Questions later.
Don't dwell. Quickly.
Don't know. But yep. Dawn flies up.
Yeah.
Up the
Dawn,
ladders.
you fly up, Dawn, and you see this this Hapfernic woman in a blue cloak. She has this pale, kind of bluish white skin and these yellowish eyes. She's holding this bow, and she has a quiver with these arrows. Their arrowheads of these arrows look oddly chunky, but she's kind of just pinning down, looking with one eye open down through the smoke, trying to pick out where they are. All right, all of you, quickly!
Coming.
So I
Are you all scrambling for the ladder?
Well, shit, I don't know why we wouldn't be.
All right, so you all scramble towards, well, not so much a ladder, but as the handholds in the ground, one after the other. You manage to, with this fog around you, make your way out without seeming to attract any attacks of opportunity from these creatures. But you eventually make your way up. You all see the same woman, and when she sees the last of you make their way up, she looks to you and she says, all right, quickly, all of you, let's get up to the fourth floor. That is where the causeway starts.
Okay.
All right then.
You follow her and you see that there is what looks like a makeshift ladder, that it's been put together of a couple of pieces of metal beams with these other lashes of wood kind of put between them. But it's a lot more comfortable to climb than those shallow handholds. She leads you up one floor, then another, till finally you reach the top, where you see that most of the walls have kind of crumbled away. You're mostly out in the open, but you see that there's a wide, pretty well preserved looking causeway, not one of those rickety sky bridges.
That's more stable than the last one.
we owe you our thanks, sir.
Yeah.
You step right in, a hive of them. I don't know what you were thinking.
We didn't exactly know it was a hive.
We're hoping
not
to
You need
get
to
to this
learn to
causeway.
look for the signs. I don't know what you're doing here in Herb Rubena if you don't even know how to look for the signs.
What are the signs?
Look, you can smell where they're hiving. You can tell it gets damper. You can see where the ground has been all torn up, where they're burrowing underneath.
Noted.
I sniff the air. Does it smell weird?
There was this, kind of a damp muskiness down below. You can't smell it up here.
All right. So, what's your name?
Me? They call me Ephraim. Lula Ephraim. Now, come on. Let's at least get to the next building before we go and have ourselves a nice little sit-down chat, okay?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think Alcana might tend to herself on the way forward. 10 points of lay on hands. And that.
Can I also just roll like an insight on her, just to see like is she leading us to something nefarious?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Normal.
Yes,
Say.
I would also like to insight.
Please do.
Alcana too.
Nice.
Right now, your primary impression is that she's pretty peeved with you, that she's not like here as something heroic, that she's more like pissed off that she had to save all of these idiots who stumbled right into a hive. She doesn't necessarily seem trustworthy, but she also doesn't seem like she trusts you. She seems like She seems hardened,
Okay, but does it look like she's luring us into a trap?
You don't get that impression, no.
She did just say that, like, or help us.
Yeah. All right. In that case, for now, yeah, Dot will just follow her.
She gets you onto the next rooftop, or not even rooftop, it's more like midway through the building, but where you can see that the causeway kind of will continue through it and on eventually where it'll route around that plaza. And she looks back at you. She says, "So, who are all of you? You another bunch of treasure hunters."
I don't think it's so much treasure we're after as it is lore.
Lore. Oh, are some of those New Age Samarakians then?
Not
Or
exactly.
Kind of. Speaking only of myself.
well, this is no tourist walk around. This is not a safe place.
Yes, we kind of figured that from all the bugs.
And the water.
What are you trying to find? What are you trying to get to? I mean, for you to even get this far into the city, well, you have to be either very capable or very lucky and very stupid. From what I saw just now, it looks a little bit closer to the second one. Or maybe I missed your best moments.
Hey, we had a few nice moments. We had to fight a few bugs to get ourselves through here, or whatever they are. I guess they're giant bugs.
You see her, even as she's talking to you, her eyes constantly dart away, sort of looking down towards the street level. She regularly breaks that to make eye contact with you, but it only ever lasts a couple seconds as she darts and does a quick sweep again around.
Guys, what do we tell her? What do we say?
I don't think it's the worst thing to tell her. We're just kind of looking for a jail, you know? You tell her that.
Well, a lot of our investigations have to do with the ancient Zamrakian societies of the wilderness, and we're looking for more information about those.
Ancient Zamarakian societies. You're in the ancient Zamarakian society. I don't know what you're trying to ask for. You're here. You found it. Congratulations.
Well, there are more specific things that we're looking into, I suppose you could say.
Stuff of a more, how shall we say, esoteric nature.
You can say that if you want. Doesn't tell me any more about what you're doing here.
I think we should just tell her.
Yeah.
Look, I've already got one person who I'm supposed to go find in here. I don't need to be babysitting a whole other party. And if you let those things give out their warning cry, well, you don't seem like you're going to last long here on your own.
There's another person?
I don't like spending much time in the Herb Urbana. I know more about it than most, but I was here supposed to be a guide for someone. I didn't do too great a job of that.
We did. We came across some of the remains of the party. You had a bodyguard? Well,
Yes?
I'm afraid the bodyguard is no longer with us.
Are you certain that these are people that I would have traveled with? I've seen others come through here and they've not done so wonderfully. Some have gotten away, some haven't.
Well, on their person was a letter talking about uh, guiding someone, having a guide, and being a bodyguard for someone else.
Maybe a wizard?
You see a look of recognition in her face. Ilstrom Darkmoor.
We didn't get. What did we get today?
Yeah, that was the name.
What's the name?
Wizard Ilstrom Darkbar.
Not the bodyguard, was it? Right?
Yeah, the wizard.
Well, I'd have suspected as much. The muscle won't do them too much good. They're really going after are the magic users.
But here's the thing: when we found them dead, they were strung up. It doesn't look like the.
You don't
What's
need to
that?
describe it to me.
Sorry, you know what I mean, though. It looks like it was done by someone who's sentient. Like they weren't just.
I've seen it before.
Did
Oh.
the wizard have any tattoos on his hands or arms?
Yes, I think he had some kind of a tattoo of. Oh, what was it? Uh, I don't know. He had the full sleeves. Tacky looking, if you ask me, but. I think I know where they've taken him. I just hope he's still. Well, I'm sorry you don't want to hear about my own concerns. Look, you won't want to be spending too much time in the city. There's a way if you act quickly now, you can get out of here before sunset.
Which direction is that in?
If you take, and she kind of walks back out onto the causeway, you take this road, and you see there's one part down there about 5 blocks down that you'll have to crawl yourself over the rubble. But after that, there's another one of the. Well, you probably don't want to take one of the plank walks, but you may be able to edge around the side of the coast. They don't like getting deep into the water.
Yeah, but that's where the hydras are. So
Think your best bet is to just get all the way to the edge of this part and then make your way on the coast and, well, I suppose try to avoid the hydras if you can.
That's would be nice if you could avoid those.
And which direction is she pointing? Is it like northwest?
It seems kind of a northeasterly, maybe more north direction.
We came from that direction.
You came kind of from the east.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Well,
Hey, can we ask you something?
Yeah? What do you
What's
need
that?
to ask me?
Yeah, what's that like area over there? Like with that raised area in the middle of the, or not in the middle, but you know, like he points at the raised up, like almost looks like a
Over
market.
there. Yeah, that's the armory.
The armory?
The armory, yes. That's where the Ulmberhulks march. How long have you been here?
A day? Maybe. Yeah,
just over a day.
So more than 24 hours.
Yep.
Yes, we
Well,
saw
in
them
that
marching.
case, see the parade.
We did. What's up with that?
It's something they do. When I first learned about it, it was something that would only happen maybe monthly. From what I've seen now, it happens most every night. The Umber Hulks aren't a problem. if you know how to avoid them.
So are they smelting things?
Yes, burning down old things. Sometimes they drag the statues from the city there and they smash them. I think they have some kind of a religion.
Well, that's fascinating, I suppose.
What god do they follow?
She shrugs.
I guess no one's really tried to ask them that.
I mean, if you're having trouble with them, I hate to think what'll happen if your group tries to get deeper into the city.
Is there worse out there?
Of course, the Umber Hulks aren't the problem. The First Gate are the problem.
First
And
gate.
what are they?
Yeah.
They are. Maybe you could call them a cult. They're mostly Hapfernics, but they. From what I've seen, it's in a part of the city that was once called the Anointed Terrace. And there, the foundations have a lot of metal reinforcement in them, a lot of what do they call it, catagon, so the Hulks can't get through. But they have all of these ideas about the Dukes, about some new age, and they're the ones when you have these scholars and these treasure hunters and these new age Samarakians coming into the city. They're the ones who get them. I think they're the ones who have Ilstrom.
They capture wizards, do they?
That is right.
Any particular reason why, or just they like them?
I think it's something to do with their blood.
Their blood.
They think that magic, the blood of a magic user, has special properties, and there are certain magics that they do that need to use this blood, and so they catch outsiders. Those ones you saw flayed, they're the ones whose blood they think is not worth anything.
So do you think this wizard guy's still alive or is he long gone? I mean, we found his hand.
You found his hand.
Well, we're not sure it was his hand. It had a tattoo on it.
Of a diamond?
That actually matches up. Was this out near the edge of the city by the old rubium mine?
I think so.
Is the rubium mine that big crater that everything was collapsing in it?
Yes, that's right. I believe I saw a map of the city further in that shows how it was in the Third Age, and it used to be further inland, but I guess the lake expanded at some point, so you always have the water crashing into it and making explosions.
Do we know what rubium is?
Anyone who wants to can roll a nature check, I guess.
Can Don, or is this totally out of his?
Yeah, not Don, but I will say that if Logie rolls that check, he can add an extra +4 because he's a dwarf.
Uh,
Princess.
well, I guess maybe that's just how dwarf primary school works.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
whole course on minerals.
You went to middle school.
Yeah, Logi, as you say this, you do know of this. It's a little bit archaic, but yeah, that this explosive mineral, rather rare. Rumors that it was actually used in excavating and originally creating Keldegrim, but you also know that it's highly reactive with water, very volatile.
I say that.
So that's
Well,
what's
that
causing all the
explains a
waves.
lot.
Yep. Very
Glad we
understandable.
didn't go swimming up there then.
Yeah, really. Don't know how much Water Rock would have done for us. But so this person you're looking for, is it that? Was it? Are you gonna try to save him?
If I can, I believe that the first gate has already got him, and well, they will have a guard watching him 24/7. I could maybe try a smoke bomb and to sneak in then, but anyway, this is my concern. For now, all of you, I don't need to be following this mission while trying to babysit another group. We'd best be getting out of the city.
Here's the thing: is your wizard friend being kept in a jail?
I don't think he's in a jail. He should be there on the Anointed Terrace.
Huh.
Do you know of any jails nearby?
Any jails?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are probably some places in this old city that were used at different times to hold prisoners. There are places. What are they? Oh yeah, in Infernal. It says Centurion offices. I've seen those before. Sometimes they have a few cells in them.
What about the jail of Deveratus?
Is that what you came here looking for?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Well, I know about that. That is not here in the city. That is a good few miles away.
Really suspect that,
So
but we
we've
didn't
heard.
know its exact location. Just that it was near the city.
Well, if you're headed there, and I certainly don't recommend it, and as she starts to describe its location, Don, why don't you go ahead and roll a check? Maybe this is insight, maybe this is perception, maybe this is investigation, whatever check you think is appropriate for Dawn to try to understand her words as she's describing to you where the Gal of Deveratus is.
Sure. Huh. Okay.
That's a +1 since you are the cartographer.
Oh.
You put together that this place, Gal of Deveratus, is actually over here.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, look at that.
I don't like why he's laughing.
Yeah, why are you laughing?
He knows things that we don't.
Wow. Oh.
Oh
Oh.
No.
boy.
Oh. Is that Keldegrim?
No.
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 No!
Jason.
Keldegrim is like miles to the west. What are
Keldegrim
you
is also on
smoking,
the map.
Julia?
Keldegrim is over here.
Oh, there's Keldegrim.
Okay, she was laughing because she made a mistake. All right.
Shut up. Okay. All right, Don draws it.
100 miles away from Celtigram.
Maybe Don shouldn't be the one writing on the maps.
Listen, I was zoomed in, okay? I see it over there. But yes, Don draws it. Right
Why
there.
don't you recommend going there?
That place, it is. Well, there are places in Forintry, places that never really stopped being used. And I think this is one of those places.
Stop being used by who?
That I couldn't tell you.
Can you tell us anything more about it?
It is not a place of Hapfernix, or of Dvergar, or of Avianzi. Certainly not a place of humans. That is a place of demons.
Fun.
So there's still demons over there? After all these years?
I've never been inside myself, but that's what I have heard.
Well, are the demons the prisoners or the wardens, I wonder?
And I mean, who could they be locking up?
It could be demons locking up even more demons. Demons on demons.
At this point, I
Or
think
stuff the common person would call demons, but are actually something else.
Fox pipes up and he says, "You said you were looking for a jail. This place, all the way here on what sounds like near some mountains. It not only does it sound very out of the way, this sounds untenably dangerous. And for what?
It's true, I only suggested looking at it if it was close to the city. And, well, the only connection we have to it at the moment is the name, Neveratis.
But that's a pretty strong connection.
To me, this sounds like a suicide trap."
Probably. I'm not saying we should go. I'm just saying there's probably something there.
Demon.
If this was
Well,
Yeah,
what's the alternative?
And we can keep going to what is it you called it?
Solomanta. Apparently.
Yeah, that's the word.
Does that word get a reaction from our friend here?
No, she doesn't make any reaction to that. But she kind of gets this thoughtful look. Wait a second. You, miss, were you digging around for something inside of that boulet, or had you literally punched it?
Oh, yeah, I kind of just punched it.
Holy shit. Maybe I was wrong about something. If you are looking for this Gaul, and because it is called Devaratis, if you are a student of the Dukes and you can punch boulets, that is not nothing. I could maybe make a deal with you. If you were to help me to free Ilstrom Darkmoor, I would be willing to guide you to the Gaul of Devaratis.
I'm down to help out. Yeah.
It's a tempting offer.
This sounds like a very poor idea to me.
Nia psychically talks to the rest of the group, including Fox, but not her, sadly. You know, we could go for this, but guys, I gotta be honest. Fighting actual demons, we won't last.
That's not exactly what I was trained to fight.
It's true. That's well. How much is it worth to attempt this?
Hey, well, here's the thing. This is a Zamrakian city, right? These first cultist guys, they might know a thing or two about this Deveratus jail, so what if we help her out and, I don't know, maybe we could capture one of these fools and interrogate him?
That is possible, but is it feasible?
I'm sure we'll run into at least one of them on our way in.
Yeah, besides, did you see how hard Nia punched that Brutalo?
Nia just looks at Dawn like,
What, she thinks that you're impressive. Points at her.
that's real good and all, but I'm just not sure if it's worth it. Plus, we've been out in Thornbury for a long time.
Well, there's no pressing matters that we know of in character.
In character.
If something
Yeah.
like pressing matters, maybe she just doesn't fucking like it here.
True.
I will go along with whatever you decide. I could not abandon you now, but if we go walking into that gulf of Deveratis, I am not confident that any of us will come walking back out.
See what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. You know, like, okay, obviously, yeah, okay. Although, okay, I'm Don in his head would say, but you want to ditch her? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not the most charitable type, but you think she could save that wizard guy on her own?
She seems confident enough to try.
Yeah, she did kind of just save us from those Brutalo.
I have an idea actually, and out loud.
What's that?
Out loud, Noctis says, "This jail of Deveratus sounds fairly dangerous to, well, anyone. If we weren't willing to go, or if we decided against going there, are there other places you're willing to offer your guidance in trade for this rescue help?"
Well, I am certainly more knowledgeable about Forintry than most. Where is it that you wish to go?
How far north have you gone?
How far north? Well, I have seen the Frost Barrier. I have seen the Ziggurat of the Sextant. I have not gone much further than that, but well, I know how to avoid frost giants.
The ziggurat of the sextant?
Yes.
Logi looks at the others. We don't know that is, do we?
No, this is the first time I've heard of it.
Do any of us know what it is?
Right? Doesn't ring any bells. Maybe someone should ask.
What's that? Don says.
It is, as far as I've seen, the largest freestanding ruin in the north, where it is snowy. It is. It is this great complex. It is like a pyramid, but it has steps, and it was some kind of an old temple. I've heard rumors that there are other more impressive ruins to the east, but well, I have not ventured so much along the coast.
I've actually heard a lot about the coast.
Yes.
Do you know what society built this temple? Is it another Zamrakian construction or something
No,
else?
no, not Zamarakian. Uh, from what I have been able to gather, it is either some kind of druid sect, or it might be a place of Karhine.
Both of those sound relevant. I think we should go there.
Yes, this might have just. Where exactly is that then?
Oh, that is far to the north, near the mountains where it marks the edge of the frost giant territory. As she starts describing this, Dawn, make another check. You can decide what skill this is.
Maybe perception. Like last time, right? Hey, exactly the same.
All right, exactly the same, which was high enough last time, so I'll say it's high enough this time.
I was gonna ask if it was somewhere around there.
Oh yeah, we want to go there.
Oh yeah, we want to go there.
Huh.
Frost giants, though. Ooh.
Uh, are there pillars in the area? We heard someone ranting about pillars around that exact area.
Pillars. I don't think that there are. Maybe there are a couple of ruined pillars, well, more like plinths, somewhere near the front of it. It doesn't seem to be a big part of the complex, though. It's mostly a big, well, like I said, a step pyramid, a ziggurat.
We were gonna make our way towards that area anyways, with where the railroad was going.
Yes. Do you know of the railroad? It's kind of new, I think.
I have seen it. Yes, I have seen the dwarves building it, coming out of the west. Seems like they abandoned a lot of it.
Well, we've been using the abandoned pass as travel, actually. It's inconvenient.
Hmm.
Yeah. We stopped because we ran out of fuel.
Well, we found more in the swamp.
That sounds powerfully convenient.
Right?
Well, if you're ingenious enough.
Hmm.
Or lucky enough.
Or genius. I like genius better.
Mm,
And it's ziggurat. Yeah. How would you rate its lethality in relation to the Dale of Devaratus?
Oh, you'd have a much safer time going to the ziggurat than you would the Gall of Devaratis. Well, at least I assume so from everything I've heard, never been inside the Gall of Devaratis. I've been inside the ziggurat.
You have been inside the ziggurat. Alright.
Part of it, at least.
Huh.
hmm. You say you've been around 4 and 3 a lot. Have you ever been to the Red Minaret?
Once, a number of years ago, before it was taken over by Southerners.
Yeah, there are a bunch of druids over there now. They're doing some sort of operation over there, but I mean, we have a fine idea of what they're doing, but nothing concrete.
Well,
Southerners come into this place and they think that everything here in Forintry is theirs, as if there is no one here already.
Indeed.
If only everyone could just work together.
Oh, did we ever get a description on what this character is wearing for art purposes?
She's wearing kind of a ragged blue cloak.
Ooh, for my friend. Yes. What's her hair look like?
It's brown, kind of goes down to about like mid neck. It's a little bit stringy, it's not greatly kept hair, but you really wouldn't expect greatly kept hair up here.
Yeah. She has what color skin? For my friend. For my
Like
friend.
kind of whitish blue.
Whitish blue. Okay. Interesting.
Anything like armor on under the cloak or anything?
It seems to be kind of like this loose white blouse, but then there's something else underneath that might be armor.
Right. For my friend. For my friend. For my friend. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think we might have just I think we might have a change of plans if what I'm hearing is what you're all thinking.
I mean, not exactly. That's kind of the direction we were planning to go anyway.
But
True.
hey, at least we got more, clarity on where we're going.
And we might have an extra wizard with us.
Yeah,
If
speaking
Izzy's
of.
still alive and has both of his hands,
Well,
and he might
Yeah,
just
he-
want to go home.
if he's only missing one, that's better than someone else we know.
It
help
took me a
stick
while.
wizard and then go to a ziggurat. That's not too bad of a plan.
Yeah.
Well, if we're not considering the jail anymore,
Do you think we should be?
yeah, it's a difficult decision. It's definitely. It seems disproportionately dangerous compared to anything we've seen elsewhere. And we don't have a great idea of what we'll be getting out of it. And it's in the opposite direction of when we're going to go eventually. This is another issue.
Meanwhile, it seems that this is something that's a little bit more known, is on our path, and we have more of a reasonable means of getting there, and sounds a bit relevant.
Yes, and well, we already had. How do I want to describe it? Relevant
Intel?
I was going to say exposition, but yes, relevant intel about this place. Crazy intel, but it was something related to, you know what?
Indeed.
Right.
I guess I better ask if this ziggurat is something druidic related. I don't suppose Notchik has ever heard anything slightly related to it. I'm not. I'm assuming no, but
Get a nat 20 on a history check.
come on.
Damn it.
Nope.
Fair enough. I wasn't expecting anything. I just had to ask.
Well, anyways, most people run out of blood pretty fast, so, how do you think we should help your wizard friend out?
Well, I know a way of taking the causeways around the Umber Armory to get closer to the Anointed Terrace. From there, the way that I usually navigate is through the sewers because the walls there are still metal reinforced. There are a few places where he could be. I've eliminated those more on the outskirts, but the other ones, well, I guess it's a matter of scouting it out and figuring out some way to incapacitate whatever guards he may have before they get to warn anybody else. I, and that, of course, is all contingent on him still being alive.
So our first course of action is to locate him, then.
That is correct.
Sounds like kind of a heist. Sounds like my kind of thing.
Are there any?
Not the word I would use for it, but I suppose so.
Search and rescue.
Yeah,
there
search
any,
and rescue. That sounds accurate.
Are there any native flying animals native to the area? And not just sort of flexes and points to the two gorillas standing behind him. I'm a fairly good summoner. If scouting we need, I could summon some incognito animals to scout out the area.
Flying animals? No, I don't think so. Other than the occasional wyvern, but those are pretty rare.
No,
No vultures, bats.
vultures or anything like that.
No, you don't get too many of those.
Dang.
Hmm.
Maybe you could summon a bug or something, and it could, or like a really small bird, so that none of them will see it.
Well, if there were to be slightly strange animals flying around the place, you think these cultists would be likely to just shoot them down?
That is hard to say. Well, I suppose you do get the occasional bird coming in from the swamp. There are these birds that you see more nowadays. You'd never used to see only a few years ago. That they have these hooked beaks and they don't have any eyes. In this
Nice.
ridge on top of their head.
Wait, we've seen something like that before, right, guys?
That's
I
what we refer
understand
to as
one for-
vultures because we can never remember the proper name.
Tusk raptors?
That's the one. But they don't have
Tusk
any
raptors.
eyes, so they're not. I don't know if they're the best for scouting. Although I guess they can still see somehow, perhaps.
Yeah, they've got blind sight. I think you'd put that together.
Can you echolocate a wizard?
Yeah, I mean the hat has a specific silhouette.
Yeah.
Well, how about this then? We could sit up in this tower for an hour, recuperating, and I can send out, a swarm of these raptors, and they can check some of these places you suspect he might be.
That works for me, though. I would prefer if we make at least a little bit more space between ourselves and that hive. I don't suspect that they'll send any of their other bugs after us, but just to be certain, it's good to rest a little bit further away.
Let's just say that my experience as far as hives go are of a different sort of creature.
Alright, yeah. Let's go then.
She takes the lead and begins leading you once more around these mid-tier causeways, and you do see that you are passing right by this place that she referred to as the Umber Armory, and things look very still here at the moment.
Can we
Um,
catch a glance at whatever they're sniffing? Perhaps through the spyglass?
Sure. Yeah, anyone who wants to can go ahead and roll a perception check.
What are you rolling perception for?
Well, we came up this tower to look at the crucible, didn't we? So that's what we're doing as a glass
Oh.
five.
Yeah. I suppose Nia will use the whatchamacallit.
All right, so advantage for Nia.
Nice.
Oh yeah, 28. Excellent. So you're all kind of rubbernecking as you pass by here. You see at one point Lula, she sort of looks back at you a little bit peeved as you all slow down. But you can see that there are actually this huge crucible is over what looks like a large forge setup. That there are these large like what may have once been reflecting pools that now seem to be cooling for various metal implements, and you can see some piles of slag. You can see, yeah, this blackish, seal worn water, and a few set up like plates that are propped on top of these very crudely made mannequins, matching the plates that are bolted onto these Hulk's bodies. You see that there is another place on the other side of this where it looks like it's just full of statues, and you see a few broken heads of demons and dwarves amidst just all this stuff that has been crushed down. Like they have taken these statues here. It doesn't look like they're using them for anything, just to break them. And you see that you could not make out from a distance. There's what seems to be a crude altar, and on top of it, in this slab that stands vertically, there is this metal face. Looks like a human face. Small nose, lips that look rather full. Definitely more craftsmanship to this than the other bits of metalwork here. No eyes in this face. And yeah, you do make out more of these boreholes all around this square.
Okay. Do these statues look like they will summon an automated lore man?
No, they don't look anything like the statues Loki saw underneath.
Here's a question: with the eyes, the one that doesn't have eyes, is like the eyes are broken, or is it just like a flat surface, like there's no eyes there? Like
Yeah, it's just like
intentional
this
artistic
this
choice.
large, oversized middle face, nose, mouth, no eyes.
Very
Interesting.
Is it detailed enough that if someone were to recognize the face, maybe?
Possibly, but the features look very kind of nondescript. It looks very generic. It's
Okay.
almost like if you've ever seen, you go to a craft store, they have those white masks with no features on them.
All right.
Maybe that's too specific an example, but
No, I
yeah,
know exactly what you're talking about. Mainly because I've been in a lot of craft stores. More importantly, I have to stop myself from spending all my money at craft stores.
Well, I can definitely see where they're working with that metal. It's also kind of an altar down there. What? Can you say what you said about the altar again? I kind of missed that.
that there's like a large slab of some kind of a stone that's been placed vertically, and on top of and facing outward into the altar is this metal face, no eyes, looks vaguely feminine.
Okay. I just, because I couldn't remember if you had said the face was with the altar. Okay.
Are they preparing for war or something? Or are they just sniffing for the heck of it?
Who can tell you what the Umber Hulks are thinking?
Suppose if you could read their minds. She just shrugs.
But she eventually leads you past those zigzagging on these causeways between a few other buildings until you get to another part of the city. It seems like the buildings are not quite so high here, but you can see that it seems like the natural contours of the land rise up a little bit, that there's sort of a hill that has been fully developed upon. And this seems to be just a little bit away from this hill is where the causeways stop. And you can see the architecture on top of this hill is different. It's has more of an ancient look to it, not this almost anachronistically modern look of most of the city. These big monolithic facades, and you can tell that a lot of the ruins seem to be made out of marble. But she kind of stops and she says, from here, we are still far enough away that the first gate won't come this way, and neither will the hulks. This is a good in-between spot, but you can see up there, that is the Anointed Terrace. Somewhere in there, I believe, is where they are holding Ilstrom, if he is still alive.
Okay then. This is a good place for me to send out my little scouts then?
I would say so.
Okay.
So Desk Raptors are challenge rating 1/4.
1/4. Okay, that's pretty good then. I believe that's that's 8 of them. So yeah, a good
8 of
spread.
them. All right. Let's see. They have blind sight 120 feet. They have flyby, which is good. Advantage on perception checks.
Wow.
So let me roll a couple of these perception checks then.
Okay, I have a
Okay, that's a nat 20 on the second one.
I have another question.
Yes.
It's a bit of a weird mechanics, but can I learn the form of something by studying the summon version of it? I know it's a bit of a iffy question.
I'm going to tell you right now, for reasons that maybe you can put together, but maybe not. You're not going to be able to learn the form of a Desk Raptor.
Okay. So I can't get that fancy 20 advantage on perception.
Unfortunately. Yeah, there's something about them that I'd say is it's natural enough for a summoning, but too unnatural for a beast shape.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, so I just summon them that appear. They creepily appear and materialize on different perches around us, and then sort of flap off into the day, I guess. I was going to say night for effect, but it's the daytime. And yeah.
Yeah, they all kind of poof into place all around you. Their heads kind of lolling around unnaturally, these odd eyeless visages, before they all take off, fly silently away from you. It's about a half hour when they all start returning one by one, and only the second one who arrives kind of nudges you a little bit, and you get the sense that it knows exactly where this wizard is.
Okay. I can spare a spell slot on Speak with Animal. So, report.
You go down the largest of these temples. There in the center, there's an altar, cages. The wizard is not the only one. It's been hurt, but still alive. If you act quickly, you'll get there.
And he tells you more, giving you what you think is a fairly clear idea of how to navigate into the Anointed Terrace to find this wizard.
Does he communicate how well guarded this whole thing is?
There are some, like her, standing guard. No other creatures.
About how many are there?
I watched a little while. Between 2 and 4. They come and go. But there are more not far away. Far away that they can't see where the wizard is. But close enough that they could come running.
And how many prisoners are there? And is there anything notable about them?
Different. Some tied up. Most of those are dead. Some in cages.
Are they all in similar injured condition to our wizard?
Some, no. Some look thin, look sick. Some look mutilated, like the wizard.
It's not great in a fight then. Although if they are all spellcasters, maybe they would be. Let's see. I guess not. Oh, I guess before I end the conversation, does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? That they think I didn't get the information.
Is there a way that we could sneak up on these guards that it saw?
Lula kind of pipes up. Well, I have managed to navigate at least some of the Anointed Terrace through the old sewer system. Most of that is surprisingly intact. I'm not sure why they built it so sturdy, but the walls there are lined and reinforced with metal. From what you said, I'm not sure if I even got your name. Drew, Notrix, yes. It seems like there is an opening, a grating, not too far from that spot.
Okay. So, there are a number of prisoners locked up. And judging by what you say, they're all spellcasters of a sort, you think?
The bird kind of gives this non-committal grunt, and you hear it say,
Oh, some of them. Some of the prisoners in shackles. There's something about them.
Well, turning back to Lua, I was wondering if we could release enough of them, we might stand a big better chance against the cultists. Although they might not be in terrific condition.
yes, I did not manage to find Ilstrom Darkmoor yet, but from what I have seen of the few prisoners I have marked out, they do not look like they are in any condition to fight. They look like they are in barely any condition to stand up.
Oh, what's everyone thinking then? What's the plan?
Well, it sounds like we could potentially do this. Now that we know more.
If we can get the drop on those guards, we can do this pretty easily. As long as we take them out quick enough.
Lula, do you have any ability to silence things?
Me? I only know one or two small tricks. I could make someone fall asleep if they are not especially strong, or if they've already been roughened up a little bit. But besides that and my smoke bombs, that is pretty much it. My special arrows, they are only good against the insects.
I don't think any of our party has a silencing ability.
What kind of bow is she using?
It looks like just a pretty standard longbow.
He reaches into her, whatever the hell she's carrying things with.
Oh, shoot. Actually, at that, a fox pipes up and he says, "Actually, I know how to create an area of silence. Uh, Not massive, but, well, from the sounds of it, it may be large enough."
Hmm. I don't know. It sounds like we might actually have a plan for once.
Yes, if there are perhaps only 2 guards, and we could silence them both, jump out and, well, maybe even restrain them quick enough, no one will know we're there for at least a little while.
Yeah. Then, I mean, I could always, if we could maybe pick the lock on the cages, right? Maybe I could turn at least the wizard invisible, right? And then he could run to us.
But just to be clear, I can only do this once, and if I do this, I will not be able to say, help us all to be stealthy, or to make myself or anyone else invisible.
Yeah.
I suppose we'll assess the situation once we actually get there, but I think a silence is very good for being stealthy. Although we have to be
At least
quick
for one
to keep them inside the silence.
Yeah. How about, like, how many guards did you say there were in total?
2 to 4, apparently.
2 to 4.
But there are more within range that could come if they alerts anybody.
Not within sight, though, so pretty far away.
Yeah, but that's what the silence is for, so they don't just yell out. And if we can keep them in the silence and restrain them, that's basically it. Although restraining things is hard.
How spread out are they?
You got the impression that they're probably fairly close.
All right. It's a big range too. Okay, yeah. I think we could do this.
Yep. We save a wizard and then we get guided to a ziggurat. That sounds like we actually have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before I forget, Lula, would you like to have a special weapon, maybe even just for this operation?
She kind of furrows her brow. What do you mean by that?
Nia reaches into her bag and pulls out Kadia's dark bow.
Oh.
Oh, what is this? I've never seen anything like it.
It's a bow we got off of somebody who wasn't deserving of it.
Well, if you will let me use it for the time being, certain I am not going to refuse.
Well, I figured it would help. I can't use it, so. And you seem pretty good with it. With bows, I mean.
Decent enough to get by. All right. We will catch a breather here, and then into the sewers to rescue Ilstrom.
Sounds like a plan.
Indeed. Sounds like a plan.
As you all look at each other, and Lula looks down, starting to spend this short rest attuning to this bow. Let's go ahead and bring this session to a close.